Howdy ho, gang. What's up? How's everybody's week been? All right. Actually got the music working this time. Apparently I had to uninstall and reinstall Spotify because it wasn't playing any of my playlists last time. Woo! Anyway, what's up, A118? Not too much, man. Just kind of woke up from a nap. I had an early morning. My sleep schedule these last few days has been not great. Had 2 hours of sleep the other night. I ended up having to, I don't know, I got really messed up from it too. Like yesterday morning, I just woke up feeling awful. And then I had to go to the couple of appointments that I had already. Had to take our car to go get looked at and finally fixed up because a part finally came in 2 weeks after we had taken it in. So that's all done. So I ended up having to like just take the day off of work. And then I slept like all afternoon. Had to wake up again this morning to finish all of that. And then actually just woke up from yet another nap. Trying to catch up on shit, man. What's up, Thomas? Who do you think could appear in the Book of Boba Fett? Last 2 episodes from Dave Filoni, Star Wars animated series, those being Clone Wars Rebels and Bad Batch. I was thinking either Cad Bane or Hondo. Hondo would be nice, but I don't think he'd fit into the story right now, especially when we're coming in clutch for these last 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett and the plot's barely kicked into gear. So I would like to see Cad Bane because that would go into this whole like war kind of thing. He's got a problem and a score to settle with Boba as it is. I think it'd be really fun to see Cad Bane pop up. I think there's a hot, strong chance we might see Emilia Clarke's Kira show up in the last bit of it, because I feel like Crimson Dawn might be behind all of this. And without Maul in the picture running the Shadow Collective, she was next in line, trained by Maul to take that position. So I'd have to imagine maybe she'll pop up, because there's got to be somebody above the Pikes. I feel like the Pikes isn't the end-all, be-all. Aside from that, given with the themes and the trends the shows kind of have, I'm wondering if we're actually going to follow Din to check in on Grogu or not in the next episode. Because every time they say something or set something up, we always see it immediately the next episode. They did it with Ahsoka, they did it with Bo, they did it with Mando in this episode. I feel like that's probably, maybe we will, or maybe he'll just come back from that journey and we'll see that and they're going to save that for Mando season 3. I don't know. But outside of Mando, I'd love to see Cad. I'd love to see Bosk. I'd love to see IG-11. I'd love to see any of the classic bounty hunters just come back onto the scene. I think that would be a lot of fun. Hondo, of course, would be fun, but I feel like he's not going to tie into the tension of everything that's going on. He'd be a fun character to have met earlier in the season as Boba was getting his feet settled in the sand, so to speak, but I feel like it's a little too late to throw Hondo in there. You could have him in there, I guess, but like I don't know. I feel like they need to focus on getting to the point of the show in these last 2 episodes, because I still feel like there hasn't been a lot of forward momentum with it so far. What's up, Peter? Sorry for not getting the episode 1 script out. I'm taking a little break on it. No problem, man. Take your time. Let's see. What's up, Chelsea? Stixie, hello. But I'll drop something else I've been working on just in the meantime. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out here a little while. What's up, Jamie? Salesmosaurus. Do you think Mum is actually good and not bad? Or Mern? Ah, sorry. The tiny little text blended together, and I thought you said Mum. Mern is actually bad. I want to think, I want to believe no. I want to think that he's good. I want to think that like Judo Master had said, that they're not what you seem. Now, there could be one of 2 things you can discern with that. All the other butterflies, maybe they're refugees, maybe they're not trying to take over the world, even though they are killing people. They are killing people, taking over those people's lives, and infiltrating the government. So I don't know what he means other than that. So either one of two things. Mern is bad, and he is a bad rogue butterfly who's trying to get them all killed for inhabiting this planet. Maybe they're refugees running away from whatever conflict they have from their homeworld, and he's here to try to turn this government against them. Or he's a good butterfly, the others are bad butterflies, and I don't know. We'll see. But I'd like to think that he's not bad, because he still has been helping them kill butterflies. So he's got some reason to kill them, though we just don't know what that is yet. We'll find out, I guess. Peacemaker is good, but man, Superman and Lois is something that I don't think we will ever see again. Yeah, this season I'm still trying to feel it out and see where we're going. But yeah, Superman and Lois is just, regardless, it's my favorite show at the moment. DC related, easy. Season 2, I just want to see where it's going. I don't like to get overly excited before something's over. I did that with season 1 as well. I was like, holy shit, this is so awesome. But I'm always worried with the CW that they're going to drop the ball at some point with their shows. So I'm just kind of like holding on that Superman and Lois keeps that point in the distance. But I don't know. When it comes to the week to week, I'm definitely looking forward to both about the same level for me, though. What's up, Mandy? Had not had the best week. Me and my partner tested positive for COVID. Feel like crap. So no gin for me tonight. Oh, well, relax, take care, med up, and do what you can. I'm sorry. I feel I'm so bad. Ugh. I feel so bad for you, man. Somehow I've managed to avoid it. Other people in my other roommates and girlfriend and all that, you know, everybody else seems to have caught this thing but me at some point. And I don't know how. No idea how I've managed to at least not test positive for it. Yeah, let's see. Thena versus Black Widow. Thena, she's immortal. Black Widow, I don't think she could really do much against her. Not really, anyway. I've been enjoying Peacemaker. Me too. What's up, Kyle? Happy Saturday. Last week, this week has been good for TV. Book of Boba Fett, Superman and Lois, Legends of Vox Machina. Yeah, it's been a pretty solid week, all around. And I've been enjoying the shit out of Vox Machina. I watched all 3 episodes the night it dropped, so I watched them all back to back. It's just I'm releasing them staggered, so I've seen all 3 episodes. Episode 3, the reaction for that will be out tomorrow morning. But yeah, man, I've been loving it. Of course, tomorrow we've got another episode of Attack on Titan, so hell yeah. A lot of great stuff to watch, man. Let's see. What's up, Marcus? Legends has been great. Yes. Yeah, it has. It actually has. It's turned things around quite a bit. This episode of Superman and Lois, I just love Clark and Lois. Clark complimenting Lois and both being genuinely happy melts my heart. I love Tyler and Bitsy, as these characters are almost as Reeves and Kidder, Tom and Erica. This is probably an unpopular opinion because I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia goggles to it. I never felt a lot of chemistry between Tom and Erica, nor Reeves and Kidder. No problem against Reeves because I think he's a fantastic Superman. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the chemistry and the way that these two complement each other is the best on-screen Superman Lois pairing we've had. What's up, Barry? How you doing, man? I'm doing all right. Just really need to get some kind of normal sleep schedule for a little bit, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. I like The Mandalorian this week. It was great seeing the armor and Paz Vizsla again. I thought that Jon Favreau voiced Vizsla in season 1, but it didn't sound like him here. He did. He normally plays Paz Vizsla, and I agree. In the credits, it didn't say actually who was voicing Paz in this one, or at least if it did, I missed it. I tried to find it. All I could find was the stunt performer for Paz in this episode. But yeah, you're right. To me, it didn't sound like Favreau at all. So I'm wondering if he voiced it, he changed his voice, maybe he's sick. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this episode of The Mandalorian. A lot of fun. It's kind of disheartening to me in one way, and that out of the Book of Boba Fett, which should be about Boba Fett, my favorite episode, and from what I've been hearing, most people's favorite episodes has been the episode that did not have Boba Fett in it. And I think that's just kind of a little bit of a disservice to how they've been writing the story so far and to the character. But we'll see. We still have 2 episodes to go. Maybe they could turn that around. Let's see. Still, Dark Phoenix versus Scarlet Witch. Depends on the version, really. They're pretty much about the same kind of power scale. I would have to say, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with the Dark Phoenix, especially if we're talking comics. But I could be wrong. Saw a pic of Robert Pattinson with red hair and red glasses like Matt Murdock. Now I want to see him as Daredevil. That's interesting. I wonder what that was from. Was it edited, or was it from one of his films? And if so, what film? It's over, Omn1. I have the high ground. No, Thomas, no! I still got to leap at you, and then you got to sever all my limbs. No, then we'll be cool. Then I get to be a cool little cyborg man with a lot of anger issues. I'm still trying to figure out how X-Men Dark Phoenix turned out to be trash. Lots of studio meddling, rushed dates, a first-time director, poor bad writing. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. I don't know, man. Finally caught up on Peacemaker and watched all your reactions to it. Take my words back on the show is great. I'm glad, man. I think episode 4 for me, once it got into the meat of the emotional turmoil and struggle that these characters have, and Peacemaker himself got in, it definitely hooked me even more than it already had. Because it showed me that it was doing something completely different with it. Even real rejects who love Peacemaker have said that Superman and Lois is better. I mean, cool. Fair enough. That's a validation of your opinion, and it's still an opinion. Season 2 is, I don't know. So far, season 2 has not felt as good as season 1. To Superman and Lois, as far as how smooth the writing's been and the interest that I have in the side characters' storylines. I was interested in the side character storylines in the first season. Lois's storyline, I'm struggling to figure out where that's going. The Chrissy Lois dynamic, I'm struggling to kind of care about that because it's kind of annoying. Sarah and Jonathan and Jordan in this, kind of annoying. The Lana and Kyle stuff, I don't care about at all. There's great moments, don't get me wrong, but like I just don't. The only parts of the story that I care about right now is Superman and Lois and the main plot. So far, everybody else, I'm not completely vibing on. I don't dislike it. I just don't think it's nearly as strong as the first season so far. But it is just the first 3 episodes, and that could turn around. I do, however, like Natalie and John Henry, their bits so far in the first couple episodes, and I feel like that's something I was definitely concerned about last season when they, left off on that cliffhanger. I feel like they have handled that pretty well, and I like the way that Natalie's kind of incorporating herself into the family, though. I was worried about it, and they just need to get something going with every other character right now. Where to go? Things went away. Superman and Lois season 2 has been a bit slow for me. I still love the characters, and I think it's well written. Yeah, exactly. It definitely has some flaws for me. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to pick up pace so we can kind of figure out a little bit more about what's going on. Joker 2 is set to start filming in 2023. Can you cite that and let me know where you found that? Because I have heard absolutely nothing about them moving forward on a Joker 2 yet. And always check your sources. You know what I've learned? Don't go to the bathroom during a Marvel movie. You miss 2 minutes of the movie and you won't know why a character is a character. That's why I love Marvel as a whole. Yeah, you got to be very careful about when you time your movie, your bathroom breaks at a Marvel movie a lot of the time. Hi, dude. Did you see Hit Monkey? No, I've watched the trailers and that's about it. I haven't watched any of the Marvel Hulu shows, so it looks interesting. I don't know if and when I will be able to check it out at this point, because I want to enjoy it if I watch it, but I don't know. I don't really have an interest to go out of my way and watch it at the moment. I can't wait for The Witcher Season 3. I just hope Geralt and Yennefer can work out their issues. I hope so too. I do too. And yeah, I'm right there with you. I can't wait for Season 3. I really enjoyed what they've been doing with the show. Finally finished the first book. I got to get in on the other one so I can catch up with what's going on. And then I also need to finish up my reading for Lord of the Rings before the Ring of Power comes out. I'm really excited for that, especially once they finally revealed the title of the show. I feel the opposite. Superman and Lois 2 has been incredibly well paced. I love it, just as consistent or as good as Season 1. All the power to you, man. I'm not sure that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to pass Avatar. Oh, no. Not at all. I'm confident that it will not get close to passing it. Because Avatar 2's almost breaking $3 billion. So, yeah, I definitely don't think that's going to happen at all. If I'm wrong about that, I was wrong about it making $1 billion at all. But if it gets anywhere closer to that, I will be so surprised. I do love Bitsy Tulloch as an actress. She was great in Grimm. Never watched Grimm. How do you think The Flash is going to end? I personally hope it ends with Barry becoming the lightning bolt, or with the OG paper, April 24, 2024, with chasing Reverse Flash when Mary's mom died. We already passed that point, though. The paper was Crisis. The paper was Crisis. That paper that we've seen in the original shite in the beginning, that's gone. That's rewritten. We've already passed that point. So it could be something new in the paper, something different, but I would like it to, I don't know. I'd like it to end with him still being around and not becoming the lightning bolt that went back and created him. Because that would just kind of, I don't know. I know they do that in the comics, but that's kind of a way to close out and keep him from, that would be how you end everything if you're not going to ever have the Flash in the Arrowverse again. I don't know. I'm a little mixed on it. Otherwise, I don't really know how I would want it to end, but we'll see. Reports right now are saying that Barry's signed on for a season 9 with a 1-year contract rather than a multi-year contract. So season 9 might be the finale or the final season, or they might just be not getting ahead of themselves and only doing a year at a time, which would be the smart move to make, and not contract anybody for longer than things kind of work out. But it'll be a 15 episode season 9, so it'll definitely be the shortest season, but it matches what they've done with all the other shows. Batwoman and Legends have all been reduced to 13 episodes to keep the stories tighter, and so far these seasons have been way tighter, way better paced than the previous ones. And I'd like to see that happen with the Flash as well, but if it's going to go out on its own terms. That's all I hope. After episode 4, Superman and Lois is going on a 2-week break. That's what I heard as well. Someone had said it was to account for the Olympics or something like that. I suggest reacting to the Mask of Zorro movie. If you love superhero movies, you will absolutely love it. I've seen the movie like a ridiculous amount of times. Watched it in the theaters when it first came out. So yeah, I've already seen the movie. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. What's up, party people? Been a while since I had a chance to check in with your chats. How goes it? Everything's going fine, man. How are you doing, Canada? I mean, everything's been pretty smooth sailing other than this week where sleep's been really jacked up. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Did you hear that Grant Gustin will leave The Flash? No, not at all. That is not at all what I've been seeing at all. The show will end when Grant there's no leaving The Flash. The show will end if Grant leaves. I guarantee it. Because even the showrunners and the executives over there was like, we'll go as long as Grant wants to go. So, and who are they going to go? Wally you can't pass it to Wally. It's not going to be The Flash unless you pass it to his kids, but they're from a different time altogether. They can't be in the present day or carry forward the present day story. If Grant leaves, The Flash ends. That's just kind of the state of things at the moment. Peacemaker versus Captain Rogers. Well, probably Captain Rogers, because he's actually a superhuman. Although Book of Boba Fett's episode 5 was good, it almost had nothing to do with the Book of Boba Fett, which is a major issue I have with the series. Yeah, exactly what I said earlier. I agree with that. Though I thought it'd be funny if Boba Fett somehow was going to help Mando find the sacred water, since Boba's symbol is the mythosaur, and they do bring up his connection with the water often. They could. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Boba Fett does help him in this reclamation of Mandalore, but I also in some way feel like it's not his fight anymore, or at all. But who knows? He does like to repay his debts, and who knows? We'll see. Doctor Strange versus Superman. Well, Doctor Strange is like one of the most powerful magic users in existence on both sides of the fence. Superman is weak to magic, so it'd really be if Superman knocks him unconscious before he can cast a spell, which is very likely. But if he does manage to cast a spell, you know, it's going to affect Superman like it affects anybody else. So, Sprite versus Loki. I dropped a pic in the Marvel chat on the server. I'll have to check it out here in a little while. The two X-Wing pilots need their own TV show. I agree. I think I actually mentioned that at one point. That I'd love to see Trapper Wolf and Carson Teva in their own little, like, Star Wars cops style show or whatever, where they're just kind of going around investigating the Imperial Remnants and just kind of doing their usual kind of patrol stuff. I think that would be fun. I think that'd be a really fun show to watch. But I like how Carson Teva, because he's stationed out here, and he's seen these things that the main Republic are not seeing and don't want to believe is real. And I think there's a really great untapped story for that to follow it. And I feel like that's what the Rangers of the Republic was supposed to end up being. But of course, with some of the other major characters that we've seen, but they were going to be a big part of it too. So I hope they kind of work that into it as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. I was really happy to see him pop up, because I like that he's been picking together and piecing together up all these puzzle pieces about the weird stuff that's been going on in the Outer Rim, and no one believes them. No one believes them. Which live-action Doomsday design is better? Smallville TV series, BVS, or Krypton? Let's see. I don't really remember. I vaguely remember the Smallville one. Yeah, that's okay. That's exactly what I remembered. Where's Krypton's? I know I've seen it, but I just want to make sure that I'm thinking of the right thing. If I had to pick, hold on, let's I don't know. I think I like Krypton's design the most. Actually. Like I don't dislike the BVS one, but it takes it a little while before it actually starts to look like Doomsday after he takes a bunch of damage and transforms and evolves a little bit more. But yeah, I'll probably go with Krypton. Damn it, just realized how far behind I am already. Can't wait to see Loki again, whenever that is. I'm hoping he pops up in Doctor Strange, but we'll see. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Daredevil movie. Me either. I just want more Charlie Cox. That's what I want. Charlie Cox in the suit doing Daredevil stuff. Let's do it. Make it happen. Favorite episode of the Book of Boba Fett was episode 3 because it's the only one that seemed to progress the plot. Boba hires Vespa Squad. Black Chrysanthemum tries to kill Boba. Boba gets Rancor. For me, that's my least favorite episode of the show so far. Not for the same reasons a lot of people have, obviously. A lot of people want to complain about the Vespa Squad. I have no issue with the Vespa Squad at all. It was just, I found it to be a little bit of a clunky episode. Excluding episode 5, my favorite episode is episode 2. Either episode 2 or episode 4. Oh man, The Mandalorian is so badass these days. Yes, it is. Yes, he is. The Return of Mando was so refreshing. Bryce Dallas Howard did an amazing job. Yes, she did. She did a really good job. Love the Real Rejects, but they are wrong with that take, in my opinion. Superman is very good. Peacemaker is fucking amazing. I think the only thing that... Peacemaker is to the point. What I like more about Peacemaker is more about what I like more about it versus any other broadcast superhero show. It's clear, to the point, focused, while fleshing out its characters. The only thing that I feel like holds back all of the CW shows is just their focus on other characters, other plots, and not all of them are going to be that interesting. Especially with season 2 so far. I could care less about most of the side plots in season 2 at this point. So yeah, I don't know. So far, I'm enjoying Peacemaker way more than I'm enjoying Superman and Lois. But that's me. Not sure how Legends of Tomorrow is going to end. No idea. I have no idea how they would actually close the show when given the option. Doctor Strange versus Mysterio. Doctor Strange would stomp Mysterio. It's not even a fight. Like in the Book of Boba Fett, not loving it. I love the episode without him. Kind of feel bad about it. Same here. I'm enjoying the ride. But it's definitely not... It definitely has a lot of problems. But I'm not hating it. I'm not disliking it. I'm still having fun with it. It's definitely not what I expected it to be, though. If they do have a Daredevil movie, they need to have a double D on his suit. Because as much as I like the suit, that was really missing. I could care less about whether or not he's got the emblem on it personally. But I understand and respect that. John Henry Irons is the Arrowverse's Iron Man. Yeah, technically. I'll go with that. He's just not rich. He's just not rich. I want Vigilante to meet Deadpool. That would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Who is the villain of Book of Boba Fett? Is it the twins? Twi'leks? Other Twi'lek? The Pikes? We're more than halfway into the season. I wish we knew this by now. Yeah, I mean, it's the Pikes right now. The Pikes is who's being painted as the villain. I don't think it's the twins at all. I think the twins was our first red herring, so to speak, but I think it's Crimson Dawn. I think the Pikes are yet another cog in this wheel, and I think the big reveal in the end is going to be it's Crimson Dawn or something else. I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of an issue that we can't there's not really a lot of clues to what's going on right now. Because right now, everything's just kind of points at the Pikes. And Garza being a little funky. Let's see. Episode 3 of Legend of Vox Machina is my favorite. Mine too. Well, that episode really turned heel on the whole thing. Like, I was enjoying 1 and 2. I thought it was a lot of fun, but 3 was where I was like, okay, I am invested in the story that they got going on here. Especially with just how things just kind of took a huge turn. As well as it being character-centered, too. So I really liked that episode. Peacemaker wouldn't be that good if it were stretched to 15 episodes, though. No, we can't say that for sure. But it's not. So, I mean, is it an unfair comparison? Sure. But the comparison was already invited, so we're just talking about it. It's like if you were to compare Daredevil to The Flash, any of them after, like, season 2. I mean, it doesn't... I feel like the episode length matters a little bit here, but it is what it is. Which Star Wars character do you want to see get their own TV show? I don't know. Let me think. Get their own TV show. Like I said, I'd love to see Carson Tava and them have like a little side thing going on. That'd be fun. That'd be kind of fun to watch. Otherwise, if I had to give it to someone else, probably. I mean, I definitely want some Old Republic stuff, but I don't want an Old Republic show necessarily. I mean, they could do it like that, but I definitely, it would need to be on a huge scale for what I would like to see. Because I want either a Revan show or a Revan game, a Revan movie, something. I want more Old Republic stuff. That's what I want. But if we're setting things in the main line or anything like that, if we wanted to spin something off, I'd probably go with them or Bo-Katan. Mod OK on Hulu is hilarious. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Heroic Hollywood posted an article about Joker 2. I mean, what's their source, though? Heroic Hollywood isn't they're not like an unreliable place, but they are like anyone I would take as gospel, you know? The Pikes feel like an obstacle, not a true antagonist. Agreed. That's why I think that I think the twins, when they showed up and this area, this territory had been promised to another syndicate. I think it's whoever gave the Pikes permission to take Tatooine. So it's got to be whoever's above the twins, above the Pikes, is who I'm guessing it is. But we'll just have to wait and see. Tom Brady is finally leaving football. Means nothing to me. Did you see the new Halo commercial? Master Chief looks amazing. I have not. I've just seen the trailer they released. I haven't seen any of the commercials I haven't seen anything else come out about it since the trailer they released at the Game Awards. So they kind of renewed The Flash for season 9. I expect an official announcement soon. Could this be the final season? I think it's very likely. Apparently they tried to get Grant for multiple seasons. But he only agreed to a 1-year extension on his contract. So it could be he's just want to play it out and feel it out and see how it goes before agreeing to more, or season 9 will be the end. And it'll officially be the longest running Arrowverse show. beating out Arrow. This isn't the first live action Master Chief. We've seen one much better in Forward Unto Dawn. Hope that the voice sounds great. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know it's not the first live action one. Yeah, I've seen Forward Unto Dawn. And that was a good little movie. Do you know why I love The Eternals and The Amazing Spider-Man 2? It's the pacing, the soundtrack. For instance, when Electro powers up in that film, there was that whisper about how life has treated him. I liked the soundtrack except for that. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, I wish they removed that whispering stuff from his soundtrack completely. I hated that. I hated the whispering, personally. Everything else about the soundtrack, I definitely did enjoy. But I think that song, for me, was ruined by the whispering that was in it. Because everything about his story was already so hammered in and so on the nose and so comically tropish that I couldn't take him seriously in the movie, and that just didn't help it either. And for the Eternals, it's indescribable how beautiful the soundtrack is in that movie. I agree. I like that. Barry Allen, it could be the final season because Grant could be leaving the role. Again, like I said, if Grant leaves the role, the show will end. Maybe official announcement will be for a 9th and final season of The Flash. That's my bet. Is a 6-episode or 8-episode TV show really a TV show or a long-ass movie? Do TV shows need to have at least 10 episodes? What's my take? I think for me, it's just, because it's not a limited series, because that means it's a one and done. Limited series, now you could call it an event series, because the X-Files season 10 was an event series. It was 6 episodes. It's called season 10. They still did a season 11, and it had 10 episodes. So it's just whatever. It's a TV show to me. Like, it doesn't matter how many episodes it is. If it's on TV, it's a TV show. If it's not like a theatrical release, if it's not one consistent long thing, it's just not a movie. That's just me. Now, if you want to qualify it further, is it an event series? Is it a limited series? Like, there's different qualifications of that. And at the end of the day, they're still all TV shows. Chernobyl, short run, still a TV show. Yeah, I mean, that's my take. A movie's a movie. So, I don't know what else to say about it. What if Flash ends with the final season and ends up in the movie too? That would be cool. I hope so. Hey man, have you checked out the new Korean zombie show, All of Us Are Dead? Been out for about a day now and already #1 show worldwide. If it was a #1 show worldwide, I probably would have seen something about it by now. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I just want more Grant Flash. Me too. I wish he got the high budget love. And for the Eternals again, did you notice how Gilgamesh's powers, Gilgamesh's power fist powers up? Beautiful. Yeah, I liked all the imagery in the Eternals. It classifies as a miniseries or limited series, which still technically TV shows. But if they only signing these stars to one season contract, how will that affect the scripts? Will they end on cliffhangers? Probably, because I've seen that in other shows. X-Files is a very good example where they were going season to season not knowing whether or not they were going to get another season, and they continued to always close on a cliffhanger. And it's like, oh my god, if you didn't get that next season, the fuck were you gonna do? So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They need to plan out where the end is before they make any decisions like that, because I want it to have a close and not just get cut off. But we'll see. What's up, Ite? Mandalorian got 2 seasons. Both seasons only have 8 episodes. I think Grant also wants episode counts like Legends, Superman, Lois, Stargirl, Batwoman, and his new contract has 15 episodes. He also wants that. I mean, that's what's best for the shows right now. That's what's best for them. Now, scaling it to 15 episodes, I hope they don't also cut the budget to account for that. I mean, if they cut it based on percentage of episodes, then it'll be the same quality that we've seen all up in the show so far. I hope that they reduce it and keep the budget at where it is, and without changing that at all, so that they can increase the production value of those 15 episodes. But with things how they are, I'm not too sure about it. Ezra Miller as Spider-Man. I mean, I could see it, but I don't think it'd be my pick. He'd definitely be an interesting Spider-Man, that's for sure. Peacemaker has higher budget and less episodes than Superman and Lois. I don't know. I don't know what the argument. I don't know what the argument is right now. I don't think the episode count matters. Yeah, there's like a whole little debate going on right here, apparently. Are the Naomi reactions going to be up on the channel? Right now, I've only watched the first episode. I did not like it, so I'm waiting to figure out what I want to do moving forward. I struggled to get through the first episode of Naomi, like a lot. So I'm waiting to hear how things play out. It's not connected to the other shows, so right now I have no motivation to really kind of gear into it. I'm all into the Arrowverse, so those connective tissues, and since it does not have that, I'm not that motivated to pick up with it, especially since I didn't really enjoy the first episode. It's a smaller show to begin with, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't want to count it out completely, because I watched Black Lightning before that was connected. I watched, all the DC Universe shows before they were connected, so I'll give it a chance later, more than likely. But as far as whether or not it ends up on the channel, if I don't like the show, you're not going to see my reaction to it, more than likely, because when I don't like something, I really tend to be really what's the word I'm looking for? Not very nice to things. I love Doomsday's design of BBS. I don't care what anybody says. He killed so many fan theories with that bizarro twist. They were really clever for that with Death of the Reign. Assuming it was going to happen. The thing about it that's different than season 1 and what people keep ignoring is this wasn't fan theories. This wasn't the fans that thought this was happening. This wasn't the fans that came up with these theories. The showrunner himself has said that was what they were doing. So, that's what they were paying homage to. That's what they were setting up. That's why they framed the Doomsday suit exactly replicating the comic book cover from his first appearance. The showrunner intentionally was driving that to Doomsday even before the reveal. They had been talking about it for the past 2 episodes, what they were kind of setting up and doing. So they can't blame us for coming up with that stuff. I saw one person try to be like, oh, it's you guys, it's you reactors and Mephisto all over again. I was like, it's not us. I've said in my videos multiple times in my videos, which again, just clarifies that a lot of the people that like to comment on the videos don't watch at all the entire thing and actually hear me explain things. There are interviews with the showrunner that talk about Doomsday. So that's where a lot of that comes from. And I still think that Bizarro is not the end of it. I think this Bizarro will turn into Doomsday. Now that's a theory. That is a fan theory. I think this Bizarro, which is something that's happened in the comics, is when Bizarro becomes Doomsday. I think he's going to somehow transform throughout the show, because we're only 3 episodes in. Bizarro can't be the end-all be-all. He's not going to be the end game for this thing. So who knows? We'll see what they do. But I'm not counting it out just because Bizarro was revealed in the first 3 episodes when the showrunner himself said we're doing a spin on the Doomsday storyline. Blah. Anyway, but we'll see. For me, Peacemaker is good, but James Gunn's crude humor can get annoying at one point. It's not bad miles away from, however, options between. I mean, that's you, Kazi. You always try to force your opinion. That's your opinion, man. I have mine, so leave it at that. I'm only talking about season 2 right now. So, Superman Lois season 1, I'd much enjoy over Peacemaker, sure. But I cannot say that everything's fine and dandy right now when there's some criticisms I have about season 2 of Superman and Lois. And Peacemaker's just way more fun right now. But if I had to pick and choose which one I kept, if I had to delete a show from life forever, I would delete Peacemaker, because Superman and Lois is going to be something that I think keeps giving. But who knows? I'm just enjoying Peacemaker a lot more right now than season 2 of Superman and Lois. As long as Doomsday kicks some ass, then I don't personally care how he looks. Fair enough. As long as Doomsday kicks some ass. I just read that one. What's up, man? What's up, Captain J? You think the blip can erase the Eternals and Celestials? It's a good question. I mean, they seem to have been there. Well, we actually don't know if they were affected by the blip or not. I don't think we actually saw that, nor was it addressed. Are they technically living? They're artificial beings. So it all comes down to whether or not Thanos' will brought that into life or not. Real talk thoughts on NFTs. I hate the idea of them. I really enjoy the chat, but I gotta go to sleep. Oh, it's pretty late for you, man. Well, thank you for stopping in. Get some rest. Should Bryce Dallas Howard direct a Star Wars film? I thought she's done great with Mando and Boba. Yeah, sure. Why not? Episode 2 is actually my least favorite episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and I can't take those flashbacks. See, I don't understand people, man. I can't get on board with you at all on that one, because I feel like the flashbacks have been way more interesting than anything that has happened in the present day. So I wish the show would all be flashbacks personally, until they actually make something interesting, but we'll see. Ant-Man versus Adam. We're only 3 episodes in. I think you should wait a little on the subplots to connect. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I've been saying. I'm not the one that invited the comparison. Kazi's the one that started this. Lois's, I think, will be fine. The other ones, I don't know about. We will see. But I don't care about them right now. What if Peacemaker met Deadpool? Do you think they'd get along, or they'd instant fight? I think they might get along. I think they'd probably get along. Love the latest Mando episode. For me, BVS Doomsday is a ripoff of Lord of the Rings Cave Troll. Also, the explanation of Doomsday is stupid. The experiment should have resulted in Bizarro. I mean, pieces were there. Wheelchair guy should be Metallo. So I have to watch the Book of Boba. So I've watched the Book of Boba Fett episode 1 to 5, and it's awesome. I liked it. I hope we see Boba Fett say this is the way sometime in the series. He will not. I really doubt he'll ever say this is the way, because he doesn't consider himself a Mandalorian. I don't think he has any interest in their culture at all. But who knows? That could change. I think Jennifer Beals is being wasted in the Book of Boba Fett. All she does is walk around and talk to customers. Unless the big twist is she's behind everything. And we'll see. Hope Grant can make it until season 10 with 10 episodes. We'll see. As long as they go out strong, let's do it. Galactic Empire versus the MCU heroes. MCU heroes. Agree. I thought season 1, first 5 episodes were good, but episode 6 onward, it picked up pace. I think the same with season 2 will happen. I've personally thought the first... Let's compare 3 episodes to 3 episodes. I think the first 3 episodes of season 1 of Superman and Lois were stronger than the first 3 episodes of season 2's. So that's where I sit. That's where I'm drawing the comparison. Knights of Ren TV series. They've already been expanded and they're not very interesting. So who knows? Maybe they could make it interesting in a show, but I don't care. And I would prefer personally to stay well away from the sequel trilogy and a lot of that stuff. But that's me. A KOTOR show or movie would be epic. cross my fingers, man. We're getting that KOTOR remake, so we'll see. Marvel's MODOK. I have not watched it. Watched the trailers, but I have not watched the show. To me, I'd want to see a Cad Bane TV show or a Rex TV show. Rex TV show, I don't know what it'd be about. Cad Bane could just be him being a bounty hunter. You know, what Boba Fett, and being badass, you know, what Boba Fett should have been. Or could have been. To me, The Flash just kind of got repetitive to me, but Grant is my favorite iteration. I agree with that as well. Who do you think is the best student fighter is in Cobra Kai? I still do think it's Miguel. Yeah, I think it if we're talking overall, I know Hawk won against Robbie, but I think that Miguel and Robbie are the two that really bring everything together, and I think in the end it's Miguel. But Miguel's kind of rising above this karate feud at this point, so we'll see. You'll probably disagree, but I think we need some deaths to happen to Superman and Lois. I think if a villain kills Sarah, that'll give Jordan motivation to commit to Superboy full time. No, I mean, they need some stakes. I feel like Sarah, out of everybody, they struggle to figure out how to incorporate her into the story as much. Like last season, like she was like, oh yeah, and here's Sarah a lot of the time. Like a lot of her little plots only mattered in how they connected to Jordan. They never really mattered on their own. Even her parents' plots didn't involve her and were more interesting than what they were doing with her most of the time. So I don't know. I don't want them to kill Sarah, but if they did, I mean, I wouldn't bat an eye at it. But giving the show some stakes would probably help. Not that it needs help right now. I don't think it needs help right now. It's just like some of these subplots need to be a little more interesting. The Rock is going to be in a movie based on a game. Still unclear what it is, but who'd you want him to be? I think Doom Guy is awesome. He was in a Doom movie already, so I don't know. Could it be a remake of it? Like a whole new one, a reboot, maybe. I really have no idea what it would be. Maybe Contra? Contra, maybe? He was already in Rampage. He was in Doom. I don't really know what game I would be like, The Rock should play that guy. Doom Guy comes to mind, but he, like I said, they've already done a Doom with The Rock in it. Maybe a Contra game. Because I'd have to imagine he'd be the star of the game. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm struggling to figure out the ideas there on what he might be alluding to. Do you think the Ahsoka show may split the timeline using the World Between Worlds, separating the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett timelines with the sequel trilogy timelines? That's been a long-standing theory, but I doubt it. I really doubt that Disney Lucasfilm would allow that to happen. Watched Eternals for the first time the other night. Surprisingly, really liked it. Definitely not my favorite Marvel film, but I give it a good score for the actors, storyline, and cinematography. I agree with you right there. Sorry I can't make your live stream. Something came up. I won't be making it your live stream, but I will make it for the live stream next Saturday. No problem, Donnie. Take care of yourself and your stuff. Way more important than making these live streams, man. Way more important. Way more important. Shit. Where'd we go? Do you think Cobra Kai fighters would beat the ones from Jaden Smith's movie? I would have to imagine so. For sure. I just got a Falcon and the Winter Soldier ad for some reason. That's weird. That's really weird. Superman 78 has a nostalgic effect for me, but not Smallville. I actually heard of Smallville from Blind Wave and saw the entire series in 2019 prior to Crisis on Infinite Earths. I watched I was watching Smallville while it came out, though there were long gaps where I just stopped watching because it was hard to keep up with it while it was on TV when I was a kid. So, well, it came out while I was in high school, so it was pretty hard to keep up with it. But I tried to watch it as often as possible. Yeah. I think Guardians 3 is James Gunn's last Marvel project, at least for a few years. I think it's going to be. Well, I wouldn't say he'll never return to Marvel, but I think he's done with Disney and Marvel and all that after this. What's my least favorite Marvel movie? Marvel movie in general, like encompassing every Marvel film that's been made. I'll tell you, that's Hulk. And if we're just talking the MCU, probably Dark World. Still. Yeah, I'll probably still go with Dark World. Mr. Miyagi versus John Wick. Well, John Wick would just shoot him. Given the opportunity. If we're talking strictly hand-to-hand, I really don't. I have no idea. Actually, Kung Fu is more effective in combat than karate. Both are good, but objectively, Kung Fu is much better. I think it is. I don't know how that is objectively true at all, but I feel like no martial art is objectively better than another martial art. Now, I think that's antithetical to martial arts in general. Smash that like button. Yes, guys, like this stream. I'd really appreciate it. Said how Tyler got promoted from Supergirl to Superman and Lois, while Grant will never get to shine in high-budget CGI like Tyler is doing now. Yeah, it just makes me really sad to see that happening too, like, and going back to the shows that being still kind of stuck in the past while Tyler got to get this show that's been, like, phenomenally produced. And I hope if they reduce things down to these 15 episodes for The Flash season 9 that maybe they'll put some of that budget into really making it look good at least, but we'll see. It won't end on a cliffhanger. Reason this news is coming out now is because they are up against that last point for deciding how to go with the rest of this season. Same will happen next year. We'll see. We will see. What if Peacemaker met Deadpool? Do you think they'd get along? He already asked me that. How are the ratings for Naomi? Don't hear anyone talking about it. I gave up after episode 1. They're okay. They are, I think, the last... For the premiere, it was like 0.8. Which is like, I think 800,000 homes. But let's check. Bum. So episode 1 had 800,000 views. Episode 2, 730. And they're down to 589 for episode 3. So they've had a huge... Well, I mean, usually your premiere episode, there's always going to be a huge drop-off for the ones after that. But they're all... With episode 3, they're already almost at, like, Legends of Tomorrow Batwoman numbers. So, doesn't seem too hot. But then again, the CW typically doesn't really care about the ratings. So, we'll see. But you're right. I don't really see anybody talking about it either. This makes it hard to really kind of keep my ear to the ground on it. Martial arts, it doesn't always depend on the art. Mostly on the fighter. Exactly, Sean. No one Ezra Grant Gustin would be great. No one Ezra Miller. Grant Gustin would be great as a Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I think both could be good. What if the Avengers actors were the Justice League and vice versa? Oh, that'd be... Oh, that's just weird to think about. Scarlett Johansson as Wonder Woman. So I guess Henry Cavill would be Captain America and Chris Evans would be Superman. Oh man, it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop it. 9 is a lame number to end The Flash on. I think Grant will end The Flash on a 10th season like Smallville. We'll see. We will see. As long as it stays strong, go for it, man. Unrelated topic, but anyone here watch Jackass Forever when it comes out? I don't plan on it. Moon Knight versus the Batman. Speaking of Moon Knight, what do you think his powers are? Honestly, I really don't know. Like, if we're talking strictly hand-to-hand combat, I feel like Batman would win. Because he's just hacks like that, so we'll see. I don't know. But I don't know what powers Moon Knight has, because Moon Knight is still a supernatural entity. But if we're talking strictly hand-to-hand, I feel like you just don't beat Batman. If it's going to go on like this, I don't think Naomi will get a season 2. Who knows? The CW has greenlit worse for a season 2, so we'll see. We'll see. Mark Hamill as Mephisto? Sure. Let's do it. I think that'd be a good voice. As long as he voiced Mephisto, that would be cool. And still had the more of like a classical Mephisto look to him. I think that'd be a good little casting. Hello, Mario. Hello, YOLO. Yeah, but Bizarro's not the end-all be-all. We still have Parasite to look forward to. And whoever Dr. Lady was talking to on the phone. Yep. But Bizarro, like I'm saying, what I mean is Bizarro is going to factor into the whole thing. And it's not going to be Bizarro just as is for 12 more episodes. I don't think we're going to beat him halfway. I think he's going to be turned into something else by the end of it. But we'll see. I'm still, as we've talked before a little bit in the comment section, I don't know. I'm going to hold off on the Parasite angle because I still feel like they're probably not going to do that, but might be wrong. Can't wait for Invincible Season 2. Me too. Can't wait. I'm so sad they have not started production on it yet because why the hell have they not? If you had to delete Infinity War or No Way Home, which would you delete? Infinity War. I would delete Infinity War. I'm nostalgic right now for the movies of 2010. I've been watching The Book of Eli, Green Zone, and Cop Out. And I'll have to watch The Loser, Shutter Island, The Wolfman, Night and Day. Oh man, Shutter Island, that's a good movie. Other than the only other one of the ones you mentioned that I've seen is Cop Out. And that's an interesting movie. Not Kevin Smith's best, but I still kind of enjoyed it. I think that in the upcoming season, The Mandalorian, Din will go on a spiritual journey to find out what a true Mandalorian is to him, especially after this week's episode of Book of Boba Fett. I 100% agree. That's what I also think is going to happen. Would have been the best show to come out in the last year, animated or otherwise, if Arcane hadn't come out. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but it's an amazing show. I think there's definitely some things I would put above it a little bit, but I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Scott, for the super chat. Flash, Superman, Black Lightning, White Canary, all back in the Hall of Justice this fall. Make it happen, CW. Let's do it. Let's get the Justice League together, man. Or I'm sorry, the Super Friends. Let's get the Super Friends together, CW, or they all fizzle out into the night sky. It seems to me that the Flash movie is going to try to be like No Way Home. I mean, it's not trying to be like No Way Home because it's been a multiverse movie since before No Way Home was technically a multiverse movie. Because No Way Home wasn't originally going to be a multiverse movie. The Flash was always going to be one. So it's not trying to be No Way Home, but unfortunately the comparison is going to happen because the No Way Home got to theaters first. Thoughts on Batwoman Season 3 so far? I enjoy it a lot more than I did Season 2. I've been enjoying it. I like that they've tightened the episodes. I like the reduction in the episode counts. Again, like I've said many times before, my favorite season is still probably Season 1. But I thought it's fine. This last episode wasn't that great, but we still got 3 more to go, I think. Do I want a Lando Calrissian show? We're already supposed to be getting one. They already announced one. So we're getting one. So it doesn't matter if I want one or not. But I'd like to see it. Congrats on the DC mystery box. I see your channel getting some love. Hopefully they send you some more stuff. I'm expecting some more stuff. I'll let you guys know that. Let's see. I mean, why is the CW so afraid to fire actors? You're right. We don't need this Lana Cushing subplot. They're here because the cast needs something to do. The show will never get rid of them. Well, they're there because the CW is a family channel and they need to try to appeal to many different demographics. They can't write, the way the shows are designed, they can't write a plot just about the main plot. Because they need to pad it out, because they need to have multiple episodes, they need to have episodes to sell, they need ad space to sell, and they try to tick a box for every demographic. So these those subplots are there to appease those people, to distract from the main plot a little bit, to allow you to breathe from it. So yeah, you're right. Unless something happens, like with the Ralph Dibny stuff, or actually that's the only one that I can think of. They really do hang on to people a lot of the time. I'd love to see a buddy cop type movie with Deadpool and Vigilante. It'd be a great Marvel/DC crossover. Have I watched Heels yet? No, I still haven't watched Heels yet, man. I'm sorry. But I'm glad there's going to be a season 2. I've heard nothing but good things about Heels. True, I kind of want Donald Glover too. I'm pretty they didn't confirm it was going to have him in it, but I'm pretty sure we can assume he's going to be in it. I think season 2 of Superman Lois is stuck in the season 2 phase. First seasons are usually better because they were introduced to characters. For me, it's the best season 2 was Arrow season 2. Yes. 100% agree with that. So far, my favorite. Again, we're only 3 episodes in, so I don't want to judge Superman Lois yet, but it's definitely kind of feeling like it's stepping into that funk a little bit. Even though for that show, it's not that much of a decline from season 1, because it's just like season 1, I'd say 10 out of 10, at worst 9.5 out of 10. And this, right now, I'm feeling about an 8. I'm feeling about an 8 at the moment. So it's not a huge decline in quality at all, if at all. We'll see. We see. It's just 3 episodes. So I'm just letting you know how I feel about these first couple episodes. The MODOK show was seriously underrated. Not great, but way better than it's given credit for. I'm sad it hasn't gotten more attention. I think it's really because it's on Hulu, to be honest, and it's not MCU related. People are not apt to go out of their way at this point if it's not connected to something else. Especially when it's Marvel related now, because everything is like, is this required reading or no? If not, I don't feel like a lot of people are going to go out of their way to check it out. I want more Superman in Superman and Lois. Get rid of the Lana and Kyle subplot. Give us more Tyler in that sweet costume. I do agree. I wish we had a little more Superman action. This season so far, the first couple episodes feel like there's been a little less. I don't know if it's true. It's just how I feel, and I don't have any data to back that up, but it feels like we've had less Superman in these first 3 episodes than we had in the first 3 episodes of the first season. But we'll see. We will see. Have you seen Canadian Lad Spider-Man No Way Home videos? No. You will find new details in the MCU movies than you would watching them 4 times in a row, in my opinion, at least. I watched some of his videos, but no, I have not watched his Spider-Man No Way Home videos. Might have to check them out eventually. I really hope The Rock is going to make a Gears of War movie. Who knows? Oh, I completely forgot about that. That'd be cool. I might actually give a shit about Gears of War. I really never enjoyed those games, personally. The Rock and God of War would be amazing. A God of War game or movie would be awesome. Game or movie. Show or movie would be awesome. The Rock as Kratos? I could see it. I could see it. I think The Rock would be a great in a GTA or COD movie. COD would be interesting. The budget is probably holding them back for giving us more subplot. My suggestion is replace the Cushings with irons. John and Natalie are more interesting than Lana and Sarah. See, that's another thing that's kind of given me a little pause, is it's already starting to go into the CW trend of now we already had a lot of characters to follow in season 1. Now we have way more. We're adding, we've added John Henry. We've added Natalie. Christy has even been getting way, like, her own kind of plots and stuff like that with Lois, even though I feel like she's kind of been shorted a little bit so far in these first 3 episodes than the last season. The Cushings, obviously, they're keeping their screen time. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people to juggle. A lot of people to juggle right now. I want more Natalie. Show us her at school. Show us her with the Kents. Yes. I can agree with that. I would like to see a little bit more of her interacting with the family. The scene she had with Sarah was nice. The scene she had with Jonathan was nice. I like the scenes that she's had so far, but I hope she has a little more agency and she's not just like a character to pad out the show. This is very unlikely, but I could imagine if the next episode of Boba, we see Mando go to Luke and Grogu, he's training Ben, or maybe Leia there talking to Luke about Ben. Probably not. I can see it. I mean, that, like I said, it follows the trend of the shows. When they mention something, it almost always so far has come up in the next episode next to immediately or eventually in the next episode. This is a pretty big thing to just, again, derail from Boba Fett's story, that as much as I want to see it, I feel like, again, it'd be another distraction from the plot to spend more time not with Boba Fett. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so we'll see. I mean, the budget is holding them back for giving us more Superman type subplot instead of Superman for some reason. Fair enough. Fair enough. I just remember The Rock is in Fortnite. It could be possibly... if it's a Fortnite movie, fuck. I like that Natalie knows about Clark and Jordan. I thought that was going to be a whole thing with her dad hiding their powers, can create battle suits, fooled by Clark's glasses. Yeah, I'm glad that she knows as well. Who do you think Jensen Ackles is playing in the secret DC project? I don't know. I'd like it. It'd be interesting if it was Red Hood, because he voiced him at one point, so that'd be fun. Let's do that. You think Elektra is better than Hulk? I'll be honest, I haven't seen Elektra, so I can't tell you. I haven't actually seen Elektra. I think Miyagi could block John Wick's bullets using wax and wood. Never underestimate Miyagi. I heavily disagree with Clark being in the super suit, because that's what failed the movies. Comic writers always put emphasis on Clark Kent than Superman. What? I don't know what you're trying to say. The ratings of Naomi are the same as the number of people who asked for the show. 0. Well, I mean, people were watching it still, so it's not 0. What's up? Let's see, can I remember this? Darnia. Dania. How are you doing? Welcome. Glad you could make it. I would like to see a Painkiller show. I would have watched it. I don't need it, but I would have watched it. I think if it was Wonder Girl instead of Naomi, people would be more interested in Wonder Girl than Naomi. Yeah, I definitely agree on that. I think you're spot on that one. If last season is the final season, they gotta give a major crossover like event with everybody celebrating the 10-year anniversary. I would hope so. The rumor is that the front runners for the video game movie The Rock could be in is Fortnite or Call of Duty. He's attached to Call of Duty movie back in 2015, but was put on hold. I mean, a Call of Duty movie would just be any war movie. I mean, they're not like well thought out, interesting, unique movies. They're just like, I mean, they have some really ridiculous plots. It's like if you combine like a Bourne movie with a Bond movie with with Saving Private Ryan. I don't know. We'll see. Who win in a fight, me or Scarlett Johansson? Scarlett Johansson probably. 2 reasons. If she knows half the moves she remembers from fight choreography, she might be able to whip my ass anyway. Otherwise, I might just let her for the pleasure of having my ass whooped by Scarlett Johansson. Moonfall or Moon Knight? Moon Knight, man. Moon Knight. Robert Downey is Superman. Chris Evans. I would say Robert Downey would be Batman. Robert Downey would be the Batman analog. Chris Evans is the Flash. Hemsworth is Aquaman. I could see Hemsworth as Aquaman. Oh shit. I'm out of the loop. What is Naomi? It is the latest CW DC show. I wouldn't mind if Moon Knight was just crazy and all the supernatural elements were in his head. I mean, it's a superhero thing, so I get it. Like, if it wasn't connected to Marvel, I'd be fine with that. Will you be doing the Orville Season 3 reactions? No, I haven't watched any Orville whatsoever. It was never really something that interested me. To be honest, I think Robbie and Miguel got way better hairstyles. Also agree. Someone texts just keeps saying DCEU and Snyder's plans are much better than Berlanti or the Arrowverse. Don't hate Snyder, but text just keeps pushing my buttons for a punch in the face. I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. With Eli/Hawk, would keep the Mohawk or one he has now. I think he's just going to ditch the Mohawk altogether at this point. Do you like the Frozen films? I like Frozen 2 more than 1. I thought they were fine. I thought Frozen 1 was way overhyped. And I agree. I personally enjoyed Frozen 2 way more than the first one. Feel bad for the Flash movie now. It's going to be ripped apart after No Way Home. We'll see. We'll see. Berlanti had to face more pressure than Snyder, yet made something coherent, created something that, while low budget, got the character's core right. For the most part, got the character's core right. I mean, his Arrow is not even remotely close to the actual Oliver Queen, but I get what you're saying. I do think Berlanti had a way bigger struggle than Snyder had. But then again, Snyder didn't really face a lot of struggle until tragedy befell and backlash from BVS occurred. They were all ride or die with a lot of what he was doing until BVS's reception came into play. And from there forward, it wasn't really him pushing past or trying to get anything made. They just took an opportunity to abuse a tragedy that happened to him to try to steer the ship in a different direction at the last minute. So yes, I do think that Berlanti has probably had to put up with way more bullshit in the long haul than Snyder had to put up with. But what Snyder did have to put up with is probably more atrocious and egregious than what Berlanti's had to deal with. So it is like a trade-off. I'm excited to watch Morbius. I am. We'll be doing a Halo trailer reaction tomorrow. Is there a new trailer coming out tomorrow? If there is, yes. Yeah, I will. What do you think the Lady in Red reference in Armageddon was referring to? I have to imagine a Red Death. That's what I don't really know what else it would have been. That's really the only bat style speedster I can think of. So otherwise, I really don't know. A theory I have for season 5, Cobra Kai, which is based off of set photos, though, is that Robbie and Johnny would go find Miguel. Oh yeah, I think Robbie and Johnny are going to go find Miguel together. I think there's a lot of bonding that needs to happen there, and I think there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, not just with Robbie and Johnny, but between Miguel and Robbie as well. Oh, thank you, Naya. Thank you. Happy New Year to my favorite YouTuber. Aw. Well, thank you. I really appreciate the super chat. Let's see. What DCEU am I looking forward to? For me, it's Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Batgirl, Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Black Canary, and Zatanna. I'm looking forward to... I'm cautiously awaiting The Flash. I wouldn't say I'm excited for The Flash, so I'm not going to say it's on the list. I'm cautiously keeping my eye out on it. I'm looking forward to Black Adam. I am. And I'm looking forward to Blue Beetle. I'm cautious about Shazam 2 because I'm not all that interested in what the story seems to be kind of circulating around. Batgirl, I'm kind of whatever about. Black Canary, whatever. Her getting a solo film or solo project, I'm not all really into that idea. And Zatanna, as long as they keep the outfit, give me Zatanna all day long. Probably Black Adam is the one I'm most excited for in the DCEU. But if we're talking DC projects overall, I'm way more excited for the Batman than I am any of the DCEU projects. Have I watched How I Met Your Father? It's pretty okay. Not bad in my opinion. No, I haven't. I really don't feel like going through the same game again with just a little bit of a changed up gimmick. Like, we don't know her connection, who she's related to. We don't know any of that stuff. If something was there to really kind of be like, at the beginning, maybe. But right now, I have zero interest in watching How I Met Your Father. And that's sad, because I watched How I Met Your Mother, like, a lot. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was one of those shows that I watched on repeat, beginning to end, like, quite a few times. So, I don't know. I'm just not that interested in it. Yep. Halo official trailer is confirmed for tomorrow. Then yes, I'll be checking it out. Also, I think it would be interesting if Miguel's father has another family or son, and maybe Miguel and the son will have to fight to the death or something sort of like Karate Kid 2. I hope it doesn't go that route. I think that's just a little too crazy. But we know he's into some illegal stuff, and I think that's going to be a problem. He doesn't know Miguel exists either, so it is very likely that he's going to have another family already. Or maybe not at all. Maybe not one. Maybe he could be completely anti-family at this point. Don't know. We'll see. I don't get the hype. Hold up. Okay. I don't get the hype No Way Home has got. Nostalgia and fun action, but bad script and far too many plot holes. I would say 8th best MCU movie. 100% disagree. There's one plot hole. I think there's only one plot hole in the movie that I know of. I think the script was fine. I think the script was fun. I thought it was great. I thought it was way more than nostalgia. All the emotional beats worked for me. The acting was top-notch. The performances were top-notch. The action was top-notch. It didn't rely on nostalgia. But that's my opinion. It's not going to be everybody's, so fair enough. Other characters is because realistically you can't have a specific actor on screen for more than 20 to 28 minutes of an episode realistically. You think it's bad now, wait until later in the continued series when his negotiations include cutting down his schedule and they have to pad it with surrounding cast and fill up more. Oh, are we talking about what happened with Grant? And all the other actors, all the other leads? To be fair, he's playing two parts now in this season. He's playing the villain, one of the major villains and the main characters. But yeah, I feel like probably it's destiny that that'll happen at one point or another. Yes, No Way Home has its plot hole issues, but the acting quality and nostalgia too, of course, but was top shelf. Agreed. I like that Superman and Lois keeps the same feel of season 1, but I still feel like something is missing at the moment. Agreed. Yeah, you got my name right. Yes, I got your name right. Hell yeah. I'm great, thank you. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Actually. It's been a little bit of a rough couple days, but it's all right. I want The Amazing Spider-Man 3 more than Tobey's Spider-Man 4. Agreed. Well, as long as they do not at all what they were planning to do for Amazing Spider-Man 3. I think that would have been a pretty weird fucking movie. But yeah, I'm way more interested in a redemption arc for the Andrew Spider-Man than another Tobey film. I wouldn't be against a Tobey film, but I would say if I had to choose between the two, I would much rather give Andrew Garfield another chance with a new creative team. I mean, the only one sick of the drama in Batwoman. From the heroes to the villains, it's all coming back to the romance. I miss Black Mask. Ivy is lame. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, while I thought the promise of Ivy was really interesting, but I think Black Mask was a much better villain in the long run. But I kind of get what you're saying. There's a little bit. It's kind of one-sided right now, right? With a lot of what they're tackling, which is, I mean, it's the character, it's fitting, but it's not as realistic, though those relationships exist in the comics. So I can get that, but it never bothered me, except that Pam and Renee's relationship, I just couldn't buy it in the show. I just didn't buy any of it. Like, their dynamic didn't make any sense to me in the show. Why they were still together, why they cared about each other. They clearly have always wanted different things. So it just seemed like a bad, toxic relationship, pun intended. And the happy ending they got seemed a little undeserved. But I can kind of feel I can kind of see how you feel that the show kind of seems to always come back down to that same type of dynamic. But I don't know. We set up a little bit with Luke and Stephanie, but they've dodged that completely. Mary, he doesn't have anything. Alice, we did that a little bit in season 2. But again, now she's just got kind of nothing. So it does definitely seem a little bit one-sided at the moment. I don't think we will see Mando visiting Luke and Grogu in Book of Boba Fett. We would most likely see a flashback in season 3 of The Mandalorian and maybe see Luke help train Mando with the Darksaber. That would be cool. And I feel like that's like an option as well. I think that's a very likely option. But we'll see. Oh, shit. Sorry, Scott. I missed a super chat there. I didn't see you sent another one. You think Orm will be the good guy or bad guy in Aquaman 2? I've heard rumors that Mira might have a reduced role due to the hate towards Amber, which is stupid. No, I mean, I would have preferred Amber have been recast altogether, but... You think Orm will be a good guy or bad guy? I think he will be neutral. I think he will be in this for his own mutual benefit to get out of prison for a time. I don't think he will be the de facto bad guy in it, but I think of it like Loki in the Dark World. I think it'll be a very similar situation to that. There's a greater evil that requires both of them for whatever is going on, and yeah, that's it. That's what I think it'll be. Have I seen Encanto? I have. I quite enjoyed it. Definitely not my favorite Disney animated film. I like some of the songs quite a bit. But like the ending kind of really put a big old dampener on my overall enjoyment of the film. But I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Nothing fantastic, but I enjoyed it. Is the Batman really going to be 4 hours long, or is that a rumor? There is a 4-hour version that was screened for people, but the version I think that we are getting is 3 hours. How I Met Your Mother was amazing, except for the last 40 to 75 seconds of the series. Yes, I agree with that. So can we all assume that season 9 will be the final season of The Flash? I think it's quite likely. But they could also just be waiting to kind of feel things out and not getting ahead of themselves yet. I can't lie, I haven't been excited for a DCEU movie since the 90s, but I'm really excited for this new Batman film. Aw. I won't correct you. DC and DCEU are two different things, technically. But I know what you mean. But really, not like Dark Knight. That's still my favorite DC movie, I think, overall. It's really between The Dark Knight and Snyder Cut. Batman has officially been confirmed to be 2 hours and 55 minutes long. But they did say this week that a 4-hour version was screened. But the version that's going to hit theaters is the 2-hour, 55-minute version of it. Read theories that Mike Barnes is Miguel's father. I mean, that's been a thing for a minute. Some people thought it was Terry Silver. I don't think it's any of them. Why would Barnes be? One, they said, you look just like your father. Sorry. Barnes is kind of extremely white. So I don't know how he would resemble Barnes in any kind of way if that's the case. Or why Barnes is just living in Ecuador and Mexico for the last 20, 30 years. So I really doubt it. And I really hope Miguel's father is somebody new. So now that No Way Home is over, I want to see new characters like Felicia Hardy, Gwen Stacy, and the MCU's Norman and Harry Osborn. Yeah, I do want to see more of the MCU characters that we haven't seen yet, but I think this movie, No Way Home, confirmed that this universe does not have a Norman or Harry Osborn. At least if they do, they don't have an Oscorp. There is no Oscorp, and they don't live the same life or in the same area, same place, and he couldn't find them in any system or database, so I feel like they definitely made it pretty clear that there's not an MCU Norman and Harry. Because the Raimi Norman couldn't find them. Because he was trying to find his business, his home, his people. Grant has played 2 parts before. Yeah, but that was well before his screen time reductions came into play, is what I was meaning. I think it'll happen, like you said. I think it'll happen eventually with Tyler, but not yet. Not yet, at least. The good thing about How I Met Your Mother or How I Met Your Father is that they're in the same world as How I Met Your Mother. At the end of episode 1, it shows the connection. Hopefully, we will see a cameo of the OG characters. What's the connection? I heard the only connection is the apartment. Gonna be reacting to All of Us Are Dead? Probably not. Unless unless I start to hear some craziness about it, but right now, like I've said, I haven't heard anything about it, and I'm kind of backed up at the moment on stuff. But I don't know if it becomes like Squid Game huge, I will definitely jump into it because why wouldn't I? But yeah, I don't know. At this moment, I'm going to say probably not, but we'll see. I mean, I think the chat deleted mine and Canada Graph's message because we said the F word. It didn't prompt, because usually if something gets blocked from chat, it'll tell me. It'll ask me if I want to approve it or not. And I didn't get any prompts. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing in here that shows anything being restricted, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing showed up that got blocked, so I can't say for certain. Unless Marcus deleted it. Most excited superhero project for 2022. Mine's the Batman, then Moon Knight. Mine is the Batman and now also Moon Knight. I'm right there with you on that one. To be honest, I feel like the Karate Kid movies, we didn't get to see Daniel in his prime. True. I also feel the same. I feel like we definitely missed that. So yeah, apparently it also was not Marcus, so he claims. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to your messages. Because it should be set for me to approve a suspicious message, not automatically delete it. So, and I didn't see anything come up. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. Well, the Black Mask was kind of a classic villain. He had nothing to do with romance, and that's the type of villains we want, or people want in the Batman-related show. I hate that they think Ivy is all about romance. Yeah, I would have preferred it just to be straight up Ivy, as the villain, and not this the Renee thing that they pulled into it. Because it did get kind of cringy, and it didn't make sense to me in the long run. I don't know. I think some of my favorite episodes of this season, in the end, were a lot of the ones with the 2.0s of some of the other villains we've seen. Black Mask was a great villain, though. But Ivy's not the end-all be-all. We still got Marcus to come in for these last 3 episodes, so we'll see what happens with that. Just seems like a little bit like Twilight came in and wrote some part of the episode. What are you talking about, Peter? I hope we get to see Boba Fett say this is the way. You've mentioned that already. 3 times now, I think, Daniel? And I read it once, at least. I can't believe they didn't recast Amber for Aquaman 2. She was a man. She would have been recasted a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And I didn't say that, guys. A lady did, so fuck you, internet. Also, speaking Black Mask, Ewan McGregor in Birds of Prey was better Joker than Leto. Man, Leto can't catch a break. That's why I'm really hoping that Morbius is good. Leto, it can be and is a good actor, but for the right kind of roles. I think he would fit in really well with Morbius, and I hope that it is good. Aside from that, yeah, I definitely really enjoyed Ewan McGregor's version of Black Mask. But then again, I really liked Birds of Prey. I only had a couple of nitpicks about it. I really liked it. But yeah, he also was could have been a very good Joker as well. Really like Mara as a character, and I hope she gets some moments to shine in Aquaman 2. We'll see, man. One thing I will say, though, Amber Heard, regardless, you've always seen, like, that typical crazy to hot scale that people talk about. I guess it's true, because, man, she looked fucking good in that Mira costume every time. And, yeah, apparently she's just crazy. So, I don't know, man. Taking a dump on your husband's bed? I don't care how big of a fight you're getting into. That's just kind of, like, weird. I think Barnes could be Tori's dad. He was brought into the convo with her aunt. What? There have been set photos of a new character who would fit the role of Miguel's dad. I think he's a new character. Hope so, but when was Barnes brought up? I don't remember anything with her aunt that would have made me think of Barnes. That makes sense, though. She's the bad girl of karate, and he's the bad boy of karate. I love the Dark Knight movies. They're definitely my favorite Batman movies, but never watched them in the cinema. I think I saw the Dark Knight 4 or 5 times in theaters when it was in its original run. God, I think that's the movie I've seen the most in theaters, actually. I'm happy to wait for the DVDs. Fair enough. Do you think you will watch High Top Films' new Jason Todd fan series when it comes out in December this year? This is the first time I'm hearing about it, so I can't say for certain or not. You think there is a MCU Gwen Stacy, and who would you Who would play her? My pick is Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney. Let's see. Who are you? Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I don't really know a lot of young actresses names these days anymore, so I don't know. I had to look up who she was, so like I don't know. I really can't tell you who'd be a good pick. Most of the people I would say would be for like an older Gwen Stacy, so I unfortunately I can't really. I don't think I could give you a good answer. What if they had an MCU Oscorp as a sleazy internet startup that sells tacky NFTs? Oh no. I could see Peter meeting Harry Osborn in college, where Oscorp is a Silicon Valley-like startup starting out of Peter and Harry's dorm room. That would be an interesting way to introduce it. It would still kind of beg the question of how did Norman not be able to track down his son? Or a version of his son, but it'd be an interesting way to reinvent that and do a different spin on it. Would you ever do a setup tour or show all your pops in other media? Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask, man, and like I just haven't done it yet. But I will eventually. I just don't know when. I just keep forgetting about it. Eventually I'll do one. I agree with Omni. Tyler's screen time won't get reduced this soon. Not until like season 4 or season 4 curse. Yeah. Saw my post. Not sure what yours was, Barry. Also, I would be kind of... also, it would kind of be lame if Miguel's father... If you see me guys have to really like slow down to read something, when I'm reading things, it's not always the case, but a lot of the times, like, my brain and my eyes don't sync up. I don't know if I have some latent dyslexia or not. I've never been diagnosed, but sometimes I just have to read a sentence like 3 or 4 times to really get it out. Also be kind of lame if Miguel's father is somebody we know, because it would mean a lot less for Miguel's fighting ability and story, especially in season 1. Yes. Also, like a lot of people complain about Star Wars, it just shrinks the universe. It just makes things even more kind of convoluted than they kind of already are. But yeah. In the first Karate Kid... Oh, sorry. Skipped one. My fan casting for Doctor Doom in the MCU is Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, Jamie Lannister. What do you make of the rumor that Norman Reedus is playing Ghost Rider? I'd be all for Norman Reedus playing Ghost Rider. And Nikolaj would be a great casting choice, I think, for that. I think I would rather have Michael Fassbender, but I think, yeah, that'd be cool. The first Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio was 22. It's just insane that he looked 12. Yeah, I didn't know that at all until way later. And the fact that he's a year older than Terry Silver, who was playing an adult, a full-blown adult, when he was still playing a teenager in Karate Kid 2. And Terry's actually older, man. That blew my mind finding out this year, but apparently I wasn't the only one, because a lot of people didn't know that until this year. March is going to be a great birthday month for me. Starts off with The Dark Knight, The Batman, and ends with The Moon Knight. 2 nights coming out. I don't know what this was. Question is, what is cinema? Because newsflash, Hollywood is called the entertainment industry. Hollywood is called the entertainment industry, not cinema industry. I mean, to me, cinema is just anything in a theater. To a lot of people, cinema is high top shelf film. Film is art. Film is for art, not entertainment's sake, is what you'll hear a lot of people compare cinema to. Hey, I'm all for equality here. She gotta go. Agreed. If Hollywood wants to bar Johnny Depp for all that stuff, I mean, I feel like it just goes both ways because of all the drama. I've heard some people say he's hard to work with on set versus her, where while she's crazy outside of things, is at least workable with on set and that doesn't cause problems. But I've never saw anything to back that up, because I mean, most of the people that Johnny Depp works with, from what I've heard, they love him. So I don't know. Again, that's a whole other thing. It's kind of unlikely Barnes will be Tori's dad, because if I remember, Mike didn't live in the area. He had to be flown in. Also, it'd be unlikely for Mike to still be stick. I'm not okay. That last little bit, I'm not sure what you meant, but yeah, the rest of it, I agree. I'm fine if Superman isn't the sole focus of the show, but why does Sarah get so much screen time? I'd prefer more scenes with Lois, John Henry Irons, Jonathan doing football stuff. Also agree with that. Amber Heard feels like a character from Peacemaker. Also that. Let's see. It'd be unlikely to stick in the valley, especially losing to Daniel, where he was already praised for fighting and beating someone else. Fair enough. Let's be honest, Johnny Depp is not normal, and neither are any of his girlfriends/wives. Yeah, I mean, fair. But I'm just saying, the street goes both ways, man. So should the consequences. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? I did not. Not this year. The Matrix resolutions. Good one, Captain. What's up, East Blue? No casting was worse than Grease. Actors were 20 years too old for high school students. Yeah, but back in the day, I never really questioned it either. Because, I mean, I watched Grease a lot when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean, that's... At least, I don't know what it is about today, man, but, like, they're breeding a lot of kids that are, like, 20, 22, 25, like, in their 20s that look like they are way younger than they are, and it's a lot easier for them to be casted these things. So, I mean, Tom Holland's, what, 25, and he's playing, like, a 15-year-old. But he looks like a 15-year-old, and so does Zendaya to me. But, like, back in the day, like... Sure, these kids that were playing teenagers and stuff in high schools, like in Saved by the Bell, all those kinds of shows, like they were like in their 20s and stuff too, but they looked like 30, 40 or whatever by like today's standards. Like, it's just kind of weird how that kind of works. It's rude, but I'm praying for Naomi to be canceled. I mean, I wouldn't be hurt if it is, because I mean, like I said, I didn't like the first episode and I haven't watched it. So, I don't know. It's no skin off my back if it does. But I don't want to, like... I mean, I don't want any show to get canceled. But that's a time slot for what could be another show that might be more interesting. I feel like that Oscorp is actually going to start in Spider-Man 4, but we'll see it speedily grow into popularity, and Harry will bring it up to Pete later on. Then being pals, Pete investigates and finds that Oscorp is getting money from Fisk Corporation. While investigating, Daredevil shows up and the two team up to take down Fisk. That would be cool. But like I said, I feel like they pretty much hinted that Harry doesn't exist in this world, but we'll see. Vigilante and Peacemaker are natural eagle fangs. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Really miss Ralph Dibny on The Flash, and I hope the actor is doing good. Haven't heard much from him since he got fired. Yeah, I mean, he pretty much had his career burned. He's pretty much there's a hot chance he's never going to work as an actor again after all of that. But honestly, I don't miss Ralph at all. It's just awkward how they removed him from the show and then still had what's her face come back. Why can't I think of her name right now? Catsuit. Damn, that catsuit. Oh my god, so hot, so fucking good. I love seeing her in that outfit every time, man. She was worth it every time just for that. Damn it, what was her name? Sue Dearborn. There we go. Saved by the Bell was a great show. Missed the nights. I've never actually watched Saved by the Bell. I'll admit that. Fans online say Reverse Flash has to be the final villain of The Flash Season 9 and the final season, but I don't agree. That Cobalt Blue is the finale. Oh my god, as a finale villain, he hates Barry too. I mean, I feel like it should be the Reverse Flash. I don't think Cobalt Blue should be the final villain of the entire show. But I think it should all build up to Thawne's origin story, because we have still not seen that. I would like to see it build up to that, and we see him meet Matt Letcher's Reverse Flash before he's Reverse Flash, and see that like rivalry begin. I think that would be cool. Can't wait for the DCEU show. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm excited that Diggle's in it, and usually that's enough for me, but with things, the way things are trending, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic for it. I binged a lot of Attack on Titan in the span of 2 days. Loved it. Can't wait for the rest. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for tomorrow's episode. What's my favorite show in the 90s? Oof. If I had to pick one favorite show from the 90s, it would probably be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Because I still watch it to this day. Every now and then I'll go back and rewatch it, because it's just fun to watch. Spider-Man 4, Oscorp starts and will develop, and we brought in Peter. Alright, you're just reiterating what you already said. Miss Cisco on The Flash, it's not the same without him. I agree. I miss Cisco too. Diggle's better be a Green Lantern in the DCEU show, or it's dead on arrival. I very much agree with that sentiment. With all this stuff going on, he better at least be a fucking Green Lantern by that point. Are there any shows you're watching that you aren't reacting to? No, not really. Not right now. There have been, mostly anime, but no, I think everything I'm watching at the moment I'm reacting to. At least that I'm pretty sure, unless I'm fucking I'm going brain dead at the moment. Warner Brothers should have had a line of DC movies from Green Lantern to a Red Hood Batman movie. Hey, Canary Katie. How are you doing, Katie? Yummy, how are you feeling about Legends this season? Think it'll get renewed? Knowing the CW, probably. I'm actually enjoying this season a lot more than I enjoyed last season. So I don't know about you, considering the phrasing of the question. So maybe you're not liking it. I haven't watched your thoughts on it, so I do apologize for not keeping up with your stuff. But I've been having fun with this season. I think taking the Wave Rider out of the equation's been more interesting. I miss Constantine and a lot of stuff like that, but like I feel like the show's been a little more tighter with the reduced episodes, with them just kind of staying focused on a singular plot without any real filler episodes. But I've been fine with it. I mean, if they ended this season, I'd be completely fine. But I think it'll probably get renewed. Because I don't, with 3 episodes to go, I don't see a finale set up in this if they were to just cancel it or announce that this is the final season. And I think if it was going to be the final season with only 3 episodes to go, I feel like we probably would have already found out by now. But I don't know. I've been enjoying the season, even though I was kind of burnt out last season. I was really about to not continue the show last season, but my OCD kicked in and forced me to watch it, because I know I started off this year being like, guys, I'm probably not reacting to season 7 of Legends, and here I am reacting to it. How you responded, so I'm gonna jump ahead here. Agreed, last season felt too fillery for me. It's been I've been loving the season personally. I'm behind on putting out the reactions, actually. Finally editing right now. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I think we were in the same boat. I definitely felt like last season was a little too disjointed. I just didn't like the overall storyline that they had. I like Bishop as a villain, but I don't think what they did with him, how they concluded it, and the episodes that filled in the gaps between the plot episodes were particularly that interesting. But Yeah, this season's been a lot stronger, I feel like. As a 90s baby, I grew up with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and he will always be my favorite. Yeah, he was my first live-action Spider-Man as well. I'm an 80s baby, but... So I was always comparing him and all the other Spider-Man to the 90s, the early 90s animated Spider-Man cartoon. Tom's my favorite Spider-Man. But I feel like Tobey Maguire had the better origin story, so to speak. But Tom's a great Spider-Man in a very different Spider-Man setup, which makes me would have loved to have seen like Tom Holland as Peter Parker in a traditional Spider-Man story from the get-go. But it is what it is. Where'd that go? There you are. Wow, I must have watched every episode of Saved by the Bell at least 5 times. Yeah, I think it was just one of those shows that when I was out, I don't know, I just never really watched it. I mostly watched animation while that show was kind of like big. I wasn't huge on a lot of live action stuff outside of Power Rangers and, you know, some of the stuff on Nickelodeon while that show was out and about, but yeah. Have I seen what Ezra posted on Instagram? I saw a video of him that was floating around on Twitter. I don't know about Instagram, but I've seen a video that has definitely gotten quite a lot of attention. And yeah. Let me see. Oh, sorry. What if Cobalt Blue and Thawne team up in the final villains? Flash family versus Thawne family. That could be fun. That could be cool. Ever seen the film Clue? Feel like I should have, but you never know. Yeah, I've seen Clue. It's one of my buddy's favorite movies. He made damn sure we all saw that movie. I think I watched it. I think the first time I watched it was in college, though. I can't remember. But yeah, I've seen Clue a few times, and I really love it. When they announced that they were doing a reboot or a remake of it, I was like, please don't. Just leave it alone. It's so good without it. I can't wait for The Boys Season 3 to basically see Boomer Soldier Boy. Yeah, man, I can't wait for Season 3 either, man. I really can't. Still not over what happened to Sue Dibney in the comics. That was a dark time. Yeah, I don't remember what happened to her, comic-wise. I remember my stupid kid face when I found out Tommy was the White Ranger. Love that. Oh, man, me too, man. Oh, dude, the reveal. Oh, it was so good. I was so happy. White Ranger Tiger Power. White Ranger Tiger Power. The songs on that show, so cheesy. I mean, you can barely see it, but I've got the Saba back there and the White Ranger and Green Ranger morphers. Obviously, you can see the Green Ranger helmet. I haven't forked up the money for the White Ranger helmet because honestly, I don't have enough space to put it anywhere yet. If I were to get it. Gotta go. Have a nice night, Army. Well, thank you, Chris. I hope you have a good night as well. Yeah, what happened to the Green Lantern show that was supposed to be coming out? Fuck. Last thing we heard about it was that... Fuck, what's his name? The American Horror Story guy was going to be Guy Gardner. That was the last thing we heard. We got the casting announcement for Guy Gardner. And that was the last thing I've heard about the show. And it feels like it's been months. I don't know exactly how long it's been since that announcement was raised, but it's been a really long time since we've got any information about it. Well, because the CW is on sale, any show that's not in the top 5 is risk of being canceled. So I would say Legends of Best and Batwoman are probably going to get canceled. Again, I'm totally fine if either of those shows dies. I'll be sad, I think, the most for Legends, because I like those characters, but I feel like the show's kind of run its course, even though I'm enjoying this season. And and I'll be sad to see them go, but I feel like it'd be better to cut them loose before things just kind of continue back going downhill. Batwoman has just kind of been a roller coaster. While I enjoy the season, I still am massively disappointed because there was a lot of promise in the direction the show's going, and they completely derailed from it to do something. I'm just kind of like, I watch, I don't mind it, I enjoy it. I enjoy a lot of aspects about it, but overall, I'm not really as invested in it as I was in the first season. What do you think the recent rumor that in the Echo series, Wilson Fisk will be building back up his empire throughout the episodes? I mean, I think that's very likely. I mean, if they follow the kind of comics they inspired, that's pretty much what happens. So I feel like that's going to be the case. So we'll see. I want to be a fan of Legends tomorrow, but the show doesn't want me as a viewer. It pivoted from superhero to nonsense comedy. Yeah, I still think the first 2 seasons are my favorite seasons, while they were actually doing superhero stuff most of the time. But I like kind of the zany humor of it, the random XD aspect of it, to an extent. Sometimes it's not that interesting, but I feel like most of the time, I don't mind it. I feel like the show needed to stand out because it was just, I don't know. It needed to stand out from the other shows. It became a comedy because it got a budget cut. It got a massive budget cut after those first initial seasons. So they had to work with whatever they had. They didn't get canceled, but they lost most of their budget. So yeah, I don't completely blame them for what happened after that, though. But I definitely understand how you feel about it. I know a lot of people feel the same way, that they stopped after that point. What's my favorite show? My favorite show of all time is The X-Files. Forever. Yo, what's up? What did you think of Dimitri throwing Robbie? I mean, I'm just proud of Dimitri. Hell yeah, man. I'm just excited to see him kick some ass. All for it, man. I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, I don't think Robbie was going full bore, but yeah. I watched Saved by the Bell episodes multiple times. Favorite cartoons in the 90s were definitely Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, and Looney Tunes. Cartoons from the 90s: Batman the Animated Series, Rugrats, Angry Beavers, Spider-Man, X-Men, Hey Arnold. A lot of Nickelodeon is what I'm like sifting through in my head. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, for sure. Let's see. There's a theater production coming up soon based on Clue, so I'm looking forward to seeing that on stage. Oh, that sounds like it'd be fun. Like a stage performance of Clue sounds like that would be pretty fun to check out. Jealous. My cousins made me hate Power Rangers. It's all they would watch, and they would force me to be the Pink Ranger when I wanted to be the Black Ranger. Some of that lovely little sexism from back in the day. Dude, I had the suits and everything. So like when my friends would come over, occasionally we would get in some of the little like suits and stuff and fuck around and whatever. Power Rangers was our playground thing that we did all the time. So like, yeah, we were definitely very much like your cousins probably. So it was a lot of fun, man. But I love all the OG Rangers. I don't think there's a weak link in the bunch. And still, rest in peace, Twee Tran, man. Like, she was just taken out from this world too soon. Walter Jones, though, Black Ranger, his hip hop keto, dude, I fucking loved it. Is it possibly problematic? Maybe, but I didn't think that at all when I was a kid. But he still owns it, man. He still talks about it. He sports it all the time, man. So I don't know how to, I mean, I can't help but still love it, man. And Amy Jo Johnson, speaking of the Pink Ranger, is directing, I think it's episode 6. One of the upcoming episodes of Superman and Lois. So Amy Jo Johnson, the OG Pink Ranger, is directing an episode of Superman and Lois this season. So I'm excited to see that. My favorite season of Legends of Tomorrow was either season 2 or season 3. Season 2 is probably my favorite. You take the middle part of the White Ranger lyric and it becomes really uncomfortable. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, God. I didn't even think about that. Gold Ranger Jason is better than White Ranger Tommy. He's always been my favorite Ranger because Tommy is overhyped because they have been Rangers. They've been better Rangers than Tommy. Tommy's still my favorite Ranger, so I'm sorry. Overhyped, probably. Overused, probably. But I think he's easily the best Ranger when it comes down to all of it. Second only to Jason. Jason's second only to Tommy in that case. Those are definitely my two favorites. For sure. I don't know. I liked Gold Ranger Jason it was a temporary thing, but I don't know. I still prefer him as the Red Ranger. Forever Red, still one of the best crossovers of all time. They are going to cancel Batwoman until they have drained every penny they can out of it, more than likely. To be honest, all the moms, what did I just say? Mobs! All the moms in Cobra Kai are hot. Favorite mom or girl, for that matter, on the show? Amanda. Amanda's my favorite mom. Probably my favorite girl. No, probably. Definitely my favorite girl. Like, out of everybody that we've seen, definitely Amanda. 1, smoking. 2, she's the only person in the entire show that really kind of has a level head about everything that is crazy that's going on. Yeah, Amanda LaRusso. Speaking of PR, have you seen Dino Fury? Yes. I'm actually very impressed with it. Definitely one of my favorite recent seasons. Wait, Dino Fury. I think I was thinking of Jungle Fury. Whoops. No, I haven't seen Dino Fury. Correction. I have not seen Dino Fury. Very excited for the future stuff they are planning too. Me too. Hasbro is planning some pretty cool stuff. Or at least it sounds pretty cool. Like they're doing Power Rangers stuff for adults. Power Ranger stuff with the current gear. So I'm very much curious what the stuff that they're catering to the older fans is going to look like. So I'm excited to see what Hasbro has in the slot for in the docket for Power Rangers moving forward now that they own it. Though I hope they get distribution rights away from Viacom, so maybe I could react to Power Rangers again. As for Power Rangers, with me being an 80s baby too, Power Rangers being on the early 90s appealed to me. Had quite a few of the figures, monsters being the best. Yes. Like, I was fortunate enough, like as a kid, like, you know, life didn't really hit my family until after my parents split. But like while they were together, yeah, I had pretty much most of, if not all of the figures that were out for the original series. And I'll be honest, outside of these legacy collection stuff, which is off the wall expensive as fuck, those new toys that they make are garbage compared to what we had back in my day. Finn Whitrock was the name I was looking for. Thank you, Justine. Thank you. Do you think Marcus will get the iconic smile with the red lipstick by the end of the season, or wait till next season? I don't think he's going to full go Joker. I don't see that happening, but I want him to kind of have his own look. I want him to have his own vibe. I want him to have his own personality. I want him to stand out from the OG Joker. Also, could Kate cameo by the end of the season to see Bruce as well? I feel like they're going to hang out Kate and Bruce till the finale, the very end of the show. Used to love Bucky O'Hare as well. Dude, who the fuck remembers that show? Anybody? Bucky O'Hare? Dude, for a long time, I thought I was having a fever dream that I saw that show and couldn't figure out. One, I completely forgot what it was called after a while, and nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about. Until recently, I saw a couple people like cite it here not too long ago in some essays and stuff, some throwback things. But man, Bucky O'Hare. Yeah, I remember that shit, man. I watched that too. I don't remember much about it except for Green Rabbit in space, but I remember watching it. I thought the new owners of the CW would take into account the live viewership numbers, so wouldn't that cancel Batwoman since nobody's watching it? It all depends on what they're going to do, because, I mean, on streaming, it's doing just fine. Like, it's doing way better on streaming than it is on live view counts, so I don't know. It was the number 3 superhero show on HBO Max, which I know that doesn't really say much because there's not a lot of superhero stuff on HBO Max as far as shows go. I don't know what that means, but it was their third. It was DC's third top. It was in DC's top 3 on DC content, I think, as far as their shows go. But that could be narrative manipulation to make it seem better than it's actually performing, because like I said, there's not a lot of DC shows on HBO Max currently, so that's not really a huge list to compare it to. But I don't know. From all other data I found is that it's still doing strong on streaming, which is all CW at this point cares about. However, if it gets sold, it has not been sold yet. It is still Warner and NBC's property, or CBS, whoever it is. It's still theirs. They have not sold it yet. At this point, they don't give two shits about live viewership. They only care about how it performs when they sell it to streaming. So we'll see. And this is my back scratcher if anybody's curious. I don't know. Sometimes when I get into a conversation, I have to just fiddle with something. Would they roll some of those characters from shows if they get canceled into other Arrowverse shows? No. I don't think they would roll them into any of the shows. Would we see them guest star like we did with Black Lightning on The Flash this season? Sure. I'm sure they would definitely bring people in that would love to reprise these characters again. But as far as like make them a regular on somebody else's show, I doubt it. Legends would be the only vehicle that really is built to do that. So it is possible, but I don't know. Don't know. It's definitely possible, but I highly doubt it. A lot of these shows are already overpacked with characters as it is, and they need less people to focus on. Dimitri and Robbie, from sads to chads. So true. Very true. Also think Sam is a better fighter than Tori. Thoughts? I don't know, man. I think they're pretty even. I know Sam would have won that fight. But then again, Tori did get the next point later, so it's very even between the two. If I did had to come down to who is probably the better fighter, it's probably Sam when it comes to the drive and the technique. Tori's just like, she's got the need and the necessity and that animal instinct from having to survive and fight for everything she has in her life that makes her dangerous. But the thing about her arc this season is like she's been like coming down from that. She's becoming a more well-rounded person throughout the season. So, or at least that's the path they're setting her on, and we'll see where it goes. But I think Sam's probably the better fighter overall. Even though Sam needs more of that offense, good thing Chosen is going to be there. Can't wait to see how that plays out. WB will still produce it. If CW doesn't take it, they'll just put it directly on HBO Max. Yeah, that's true. So instead of canceling back, they'll just mic it to HBO Max. I would love it if HBO or Batwoman becomes rated R like Peacemaker. Now, that probably won't happen if it goes solely to HBO Max. They'll probably keep it on the same demographic it's on as it is, but we'll see. Watched a lot of old superhero cartoons like the Batman 2004, Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, Super Friends, Teen Titans. Oh man, Super Friends. I watched a lot of Super Friends growing up. Teen Titans, Superman the Animated Series, Static Shock. Me too. I watched every single show you listed. And I'm really excited for that Static Shock movie, and I wish and hope that they eventually change their mind and put it on the big screen. Favorite cartoons from the 90s were Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man, X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, DuckTales, Woo, Biker Mice from Mars. I don't remember Biker Mice. The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember it. What about Streak Sharks? Remember that one? The next episode of Book of Boba Fett is directed by Dave Filoni. Yes, which I expect either Grogu or Ahsoka to be involved. Maybe Bo-Katan. So he likes to make sure he directs his characters. So, I don't know. It could be any number of people, but we'll see. Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a throwback, man. And this might be blasphemy. I don't know how people feel about it. I actually like the reboot of DuckTales better than the original DuckTales. So good, man. And David Tennant as Scrooge. I think my favorite superhero cartoons are still Spider-Man the 90s, X-Men 90s, even though Spider-Man had laser guns, in which it was due to censorship. Well, laser guns, and also something I didn't find out. I always questioned it when I was watching it. Like, why is this how it is? But I found out recently that the reason Morbius in the cartoon has those goofy-ass, disgusting suckers on his hands is because the censorship thought it would be too violent to show him biting people. Yeah, watched all those. And I'm excited to see what Marvel Studios does by reviving the 90s X-Men show and picking up where it left off. I love Power Rangers, and to be honest, always will motivate because it will be one of those things that made me go to karate to defend myself against bullies. That was actually what got me into karate as well, initially. So I relate to Miguel and Daniel's story. Same. I pretty much have the... I feel like... Yeah, I think I relate a little more to Miguel. I was about to say Eli. Eli? I don't know. I'm like a mix between Eli and Miguel, I would say. WB should use ideas from the old DC cartoons and use that as inspiration for the films. Those cartoons were for kids and adults and would be great blueprint for current shows. Fair enough. Omni has turned us into a back in my day discussion. Yeah, kind of went that way, didn't it? Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Toys these days are so expensive now and cheap quality, yet my Cabbage Patch doll still looks fresh and apart from her hair because I cut as a kid. Yeah. Like, I don't have any of my old Power Rangers toys, but my buddy, he kept a lot of his in pretty damn good condition. Over the years, like, we moved a bunch, we had yard sales and all that stuff. A lot of my stuff that I used to have definitely didn't survive because shit didn't stay good for a long time. So a lot of what I have is just kind of rebuilding my old collections that I had from a kid. But, like, yeah, I mean, it's just like they don't hold up, man. I've seen some of these things out there, just walking down the Target aisle or Walmart or whatever, and I'm just like, my God, these are junk. But the special ones, the limited edition ones, these special Legacy Lightning Edition ones, they're pretty damn good. Are definitely actually even better in a lot of ways than the old ones too. Well, 100% better than the old ones. I mean, most of these are die-cast metal, actual gold plating. So like it's like for collectors, and thank you. However, Hasbro is cheapened on this. Before Hasbro bought it, and they switched to the Lightning Collection. The Lightning Collection is vastly inferior to the stuff they were releasing with the Legacy Collection before Hasbro bought Power Rangers. So Hasbro, if you're listening, fucking own up and put up the money into this shit. If I'm paying this money for that stuff, it better be the same quality as it was before. Fuck you. Anyway. No, fuck you. Make good to Power Rangers. Please. Please. Forgive me. Cameron Monaghan will always be my favorite Joker, to be honest. I think he did a really good job. Still not my favorite Joker. If we're talking live action, for me, it is still Heath Ledger. Hands down, Heath Ledger. If we're talking just overall, Mark Hamill can't get more iconic than that. But Cameron Monaghan is an often forgotten and underrated Joker. Favorite live action Batman actor? Mine is Ben Affleck. He's overhated, a great depiction of Batman who lost all hope. Ben Affleck, favorite Batman. A lot of potential, untapped potential there. I didn't like that he killed. I didn't like a lot of stuff about it, what they did with him. But I thought he was a great casting. The way he played Bruce Wayne and the way he played Batman, I thought was just as comic accurate as any of these has ever been. So yeah. Sad shame that life happened and things worked out the way it did, that he just doesn't want to do that shit anymore. I was a tomboy as a kid, and so for Christmas one year, I got everything Teenage Mutant Turtles. It was an absolute favorite 90s cartoon. Got toys, bedding, games. Damn, nice. Back when I would say back when, it's still the case, when shows were basically just giant advertisements for the toys. Yeah, man, I miss that stuff. I like the old show. I still love Teenage Mutant Turtles. The movies, though, I think that first movie and even Secret of the Use, I think both of those still really hold up. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was so good. I think it's still a fantastic movie. Dated, sure, but fantastic. Those animatronics look better than anything the CGI has done in recent years. Oh yeah, I was a really big fan of it. I got the action figures. The comics, UK version, ran longer than the US, and the TV series, got the DVD, bought as an adult as well. Doctor Who was the biggest influence on my life, though, and that stayed with me since the early 90s. I started watching Doctor Who probably 6-7 years ago, and I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm loving it right now. I think right now it's in a very, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, but I'm very meh about everything that's been happening. But Doctor Who is, when it was in its prime, when it was like really kicking off, man, it's so good. So great. I love to see Dimitri get his sweet, sweet revenge on Kyler. Yes. Kind of don't get the hate for Sam in season 4. Me either. I think Tori has a far more compelling story, but Sam is a better person. Just makes human mistakes for her age. I 100% agree with you, Sean. What if James Gunn became showrunner of a Batwoman? I think that'd be cool. I think he'd do a great job with it. Oh, Biker Mice is a throwback. Do you remember Zeta Project? Batman Beyond spinoff? I liked it a lot. I don't hate me. I did not get into Batman Beyond. I watched it because nothing else was on. I was not a huge fan of Batman Beyond. And I don't remember Zeta Project at all. I'm still pretty young, but during the early 2000s, Shaolin Showdown and Jackie Chan Adventures were my thing. The only times I watched Shaolin Showdown, just like with Batman Beyond, was only when there was nothing better on TV. But Jackie Chan Adventures, I watched that shit like it was a drug. I was actually looking up, no joke, I was looking up, I think last week, trying to see if I could find any decent replicas of the talismans. Couldn't find any that would be worth the penny, so sadly I have not partaken on acquiring any yet. But yeah, I was like, man, I would really love to get some like replicas of these things. I wonder what Cortana will look like in live action. I'm probably just like a little hologram person. We'll see. We'll see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drinking glasses. Wish I still had them. They'd probably be worth a bit now. Probably. Dude, so much of the stuff I used to have would probably be worth so much, man. I had a lot of classic games and stuff too, and I ended up getting rid of most of it. So many Pokemon cards, which right now with the scalper shit going on and the big hype on YouTube about around these cards, man, I probably would have made a shit ton of money if I didn't get rid of my Pokemon cards when I was a kid. Like, we moved and there was a bunch of stuff that I just couldn't pack. Couldn't pack or didn't feel like packing. Take your pick. It was more I was lazy. And I was just like, whatever at the moment, dumb teenager shit at the time. I was like, I'm probably never going to touch these again or use them, and they probably won't really be worth anything in the long run. And I just got rid of all of it. Fucking idiot. Between my OG Sega, my OG Nintendo, the 64, the GameCube, all the games I had for each, and my collection of Pokemon cards, I'm a fucking idiot. I will never stop kicking myself in the backside for that. Robbie and Eli are equals. Changed my mind. Eagle Fang is just an off-brand Cobra Kai. If you like Fruity Pebbles and the knockoff who taught Johnny Flying Tornado, Crease. I mean, you're not wrong. Eagle Fang is just Cobra Kai without the extreme violence, without that mentality, but it still teaches the aggression of it. So yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But I do feel it in my gut that Robbie unintentionally threw the fight. I've not seen the newest DuckTales. I'm excited Disney Plus is coming to South Africa in around June or July. Check it out when you do. Check it out. It's surprisingly really good. If you watch the originals, there are a lot of fun throwbacks. It's a weird comparison to make, but if it comes down to like, this is a reboot versus like what Cobra Kai does, which is a sequel. But when it comes to doing something new, but honoring the original in really interesting, creative ways, those two are great examples where I think Cobra Kai is the perfect example of continuing a franchise that has lapsed for like a long period of time. I think DuckTales is a prime example of rebooting a classic and doing it in a good way. I think those two are like my go-to examples for each of those scenarios. I hope they will see a conversation between Luke and Ahsoka in one of the future shows. I hope so as well. Love how the Lightning Collection gives us alternate heads for the Rangers. Farland Toys makes you buy separate DC comic figures for unmasked heads. Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot with a lot of Japanese figures as well. They always get like interchangeable heads, hands, and stuff like that. So I'm glad that they incorporated that as well. So you're right, that is a good little kind of like detail that they've added into it. Love Ginger Wally West as the Flash. He's my favorite Flash because he's not as serious as Comic Book Barry. And Justice League Universe Unlimited, made me fall in love with Wally West Flash. Barry's still my favorite Flash, but I do genuinely love the OG Wally West. Heath Ledger can be touched when it comes to the Joker. I mean, that's how I feel. I know he's not everybody's flavor, but it is what it is. It's a shame we will never get OG Wally in the Arrowverse because some people on Twitter would complain or whatever. It happens. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be from the other universe, another universe. I mean, according to the Arrowverse compendium and the Crisis tie-in book, I mean, those universes exist. Tom Cavanaugh's Pariah visited the comic book universes, so I mean, he's out there in the multiverse, but it is what it is, man. I also noticed Spider-Man never punched people in the 90s cartoon, which is weird. Did he not? Oh god. Is that something I never noticed? I have to watch. I have to go back and check that out. I didn't know that. You should watch the video about the canceled Backlash movie with Deathstroke on Nightwing01's YouTube channel. He goes into the plot of the movie was going to be, it's about 31 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I might look it up. I was very curious about that script and what they were going to do with that. Still love the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. I love it in a this is so bad, it's so fun to watch kind of way. For sure. Out of interest, I know you went back and watched old Doctor Who, but did many stick firmly in your head, or have you forgotten most of it? I remember, I mean, I would say I probably forgot a lot of storylines because some of them just didn't really stand out too much. And I can say the same about a lot of even current Who. A lot of times they're like, I'm like, oh, it's that episode, you know? But there's a lot of ones that I remember from the old stuff as well, but it's very thin how much I remember from old Who. It probably didn't help too that I binged it in just 3 months. I watched all of classic Who in the span of like 2 or 3 months. I just went on a huge binge with it. So like just kind of like speeding through it probably didn't help, but I at least say I've watched it all, at least. What's that team? Drinking classes. Maybe we'll get a live action. Well, no, I mean, the way things are right now in the DCEU, we're definitely not getting him in live action either. Those talismans would be awesome to have a little replica of. If I ever get a chance in sculpting, I might make some for it myself. If you do, I'd love to see what you come up with. Why Todd Helbing does iconic Superman villains like the Eradicator and Bizarro Superman Lois, but did lame-ass villains like Cicada on the Flash instead of Cobalt, Blue, or Red Death. Fuck if I know, man. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I read that as Dan Dildo. Dan Didio made Tim Drake a duck, so he could have killed him off because he said Robins. And what is Tim Drake? A duck. He's a duck. Thank God Didio got fired. He can't kill my favorite Robin, but feel like DC is killing by ruining his character. I haven't really been keeping up with what they've been doing in the last couple years, to be honest. I think the last storyline I was kind of keeping my ear to the ground on was Dark Knight Metals, and that's about it. Still got my Sega Mega Drive 2. Nice. I still got my Nintendo 64, but I will never sell it. Well, good on you. There is a gaming store that just opened up not too far from here, but actually in town in the city, that they actually have some old consoles for sale, and I was like really tempted to like get some of them, but who knows? Maybe I will at some point or another. Gotta go. Take care, Omni. Take it easy, Barry. I'd say the Eagle Fang is a philosophically shifted Cobra Kai. Exactly. What season of Doctor Who am I on? I'm current. I'm on the most recent season. Like I did a reaction to the holiday special that just came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, I've seen it all. The only things obviously that I have not seen that are Doctor Who related are the episodes that sadly just don't exist anymore. Whenever I was watching through the classic Who, whenever it came up to an episode where I would keep track of the ones that didn't exist so I could find a plot synopsis of that storyline, and I would read all of those. So I read them all. I read everything that I could find about the episodes that I couldn't watch. And I know they've started to go back and animate some of them. There was one or two, or there was like 2 or 3 that I can remember that were recreated using animation when I was going through, but I know they've animated more since then, but that's about it so far. But I feel like I've watched everything. Now, I haven't got into any of the Big Finish, like, audio stuff or the comics. I haven't dove into any of that stuff. I'll say that. Halo Star Marketing is very secretive regarding the Covenant. I wonder if we will see them in the trailer tomorrow. Halo 3 live-action commercials did a great job capturing them. We'll see. I think it all just depends on where and when this is taking place. It's not a continuation. It's not in universe. It's an adaptation from what we understand. It could be. I mean, he's in the Mark 6 armor, from what we saw in the trailer, right? So it has to be during the war then, because he fights them with the Mark 5, is when the Covenant War starts. Because it's like, it could be the incursion, it could be the civil war that's going on in human space, which would be very kind of lame, not gonna lie. So I don't know. I really have no idea what they're going to be doing. Like you said, they've been very secretive about the whole project. When Disney Plus comes here in a few months, there's a lot of shows, movies, and documentaries I need to catch up on. Here comes the binge watching weekends. You're going to have a lot to watch, Justine, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of it. The Batman has been rated for mild sex in foreign countries. I saw mild sex and some nudity. So, but it's still PG-13 here, so I'm curious. Curious to see how deep the relationship between Bruce and Selina goes in this. Me too. What is Omni whining at? Whine. Winning is two ends. Sips wine. I thought he only webbed people in the cartoon. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was the original MCU. Senate Cal's probably the closest thing that Batman has to a Lois Lane. I can't wait for Zoe Kravitz to play her. I imagine there will be a suit upgrade by the next movie for her character. More than likely. I think they'll both get some suit upgrades, but I'm really excited to see what they do with her character. And you're right. I really wish when they did that whole fucking they're getting married storyline in the comics, they would have fucking stuck to that, man. I was so disappointed. Just let Batman have a relationship. It's not going to destroy his character. For fuck's sake, DC. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the closest thing he has to a consistent love interest. Everything other than that is pretty much just a fling. Theory for Cobra Kai season 4. I think you mean season 5. Dimitri gets beat up because, let's face it, outside of the arcade, Dimitri is unscathed in most of his, because he got that plot armor. He literally didn't get any bruises or blood on his face. I mean, probably, maybe. On the subject of missing Doctor Who episodes, we were very fortunate to have a copy of the audio from every story, even if we lost the visuals. Very true. There are telesnap reconstructions out there, but most of them have been banned or taken down. Damn BBC. Really? That's annoying. Like, I saw some new ones were coming out, but I didn't know they were, like, really kind of hammering down on shit like that. Good night, Omni. 11:30 p.m. here. Gonna head to bed. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in, Ragu. I think it's about time that I start to wrap things up. As well. Mild sex? Ouch. The rating systems are scoring that too. Would you like Gianni DeCingo? God damn it. How do you say his name? Gianni? I know it's Gianni DeCinzo, aka Dimitri, to play Tim Drake in a live action or animated adaptation of No Man's Land or War Games. I mean, in animation, could he voice him? Maybe, but as far as play him, I don't think he is a very strong Tim Drake. Like, build, look, or fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he doesn't really have that air about him to me, not really. So I'd probably say no. What do you think of Anne Hathaway as Catwoman? She's my favorite. She was okay. She was okay. She was all right. My favorite live action Catwoman so far that we've had is Michelle Pfeiffer. The older Simpsons episodes are more funny than the new ones, and the older animation is great. You know, I haven't watched a lot of Simpsons, I'm not gonna lie. I have watched quite a bit of Simpsons, but it was never one of the shows I really just like watched when it came on. But aside from their specials, like the Halloween specials, I always try to catch those every year because it was a lot of fun. How are you feeling about Peacemaker, man? I had zero expectations and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, man, same. My expectations for it were like middle of the road because it's James Gunn, so I was excited for that. The character, I'm like, about. But yeah, I've been really loving it. And maybe having no expectations of what to expect with the show really helped, but man, it was really good. I'm really loving it. Literally plays a nerd, which is what Tim Drake is. I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's enough. El Doctorio used to upload the loose cannon recon episodes, but they contained BC material, so they got taken down. I think you can still visit and listen to Marco Polo online. I'll check it out. Michelle Pfeiffer's costume is fantastic. Yes, it is. Treehouse of Horror Shining parody was hilarious. Yes. Gotta go. Take care. Have a good weekend further. It's 1:48. Get some sleep. I can't really talk. My sleep schedule's ass right now. I'll be taking my husband to breakfast and brunch feast for his birthday. Well, tell happy birthday from his. I don't know if he watches or not, but just tell him I said happy birthday and see what happens. Feels like Doom Patrol, not gonna lie. It definitely does have a bit of a Doom Patrol feel. It's a shame that Halle Berry didn't get a good Catwoman movie. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that movie was, but it was not a Catwoman movie by any stretch of the imagination. You also may have covered this, but do you think that Grant not only limiting his episodes, but upping his pay in season 9 will be the last? Probably. I forgot about that. I forgot he got a pretty big pay bump. So yeah, it's probably a good sign that they are going to be ending it in the next season. Keaton didn't look like Bruce Wayne, but he played a good Batman. Sure. I mean, he played an okay Batman. Don't hate me, but it's not definitely far from my favorite live-action Batman. I think he played a good Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, it was like, I'm excited to see what they do with him, though, in the new one. But you're right. I mean, he could do whatever. I mean, he could do fine. It's just in my head, he just doesn't seem like he would be able to play a good Tim Drake. But I've been proven wrong before. I think it's funny how we got Catwoman, Penguin in Batman 66 movie, Batman Returns, and the Batman. Very true. We keep getting those characters again and again and again, don't we? Are you excited to see the JSA brought into film? I am. I'm really excited to see what they do with, particularly Dr. Fate. Have I seen Chuck on Prime Video with Zachary Levi? I have not. I have not seen Chuck. How's gaming for you currently? Playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag for the first time and enjoying it. Honestly, I told you all guys, I got the new Pokemon game, or the last Pokemon game. I didn't get Arceus. I haven't got that yet. And based on what I'm seeing from my girlfriend playing it, I don't know if I'm going to get it. But I got Brilliant Diamond, and I still have yet to play it. I keep up on my weeklies on Halo to make sure I'm getting all the cool loot that comes out of those. But I haven't really started anything else on the side. I've been really too focused on all of this. Now, in my downtime, I've actually been playing Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, on my phone a lot lately. Like, a lot lately. Between stuff as I'm waiting for things to upload and whatnot. And when I was like, they're really making a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale game, I'm having fun with it. I'm really enjoying it. I've honestly played that more than I've played anything else in the last week or two. But I really do wish I had more time to play some games, because I've been really itching to replay a few. Like, I really want to go back and play, like, especially because the anniversary is last week for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'd love to go back and play some of that, and Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC. Got it, installed it, haven't had time to play it yet. You think Black Adam will also serve as an origin story for the JSA? I mean, more than likely, I'd have to assume so. Could we see a No Way Home level theater reaction when Michael Keaton pops up on The Flash? I don't think it'll be as strong, to be honest. I don't think it'll be as strong as No Way Home. I'm sure there will be. Maybe. The new one does look beautiful. I'm yet to watch Young Justice Season 4. I wanted to wait for at least first half to come out and catch up on a mini non-spoiler review compared to Season 3. I think this first half of Season 4 of Young Justice is a lot better than the first half of Season 3. Season 3 of Young Justice, I didn't really like all that much. That was extremely weak compared to the previous two seasons. Season 4, I've been really enjoying. And the first half is all out, so you can check it out. But it's a lot of fun. It's emotional, action-packed, good. It's really good. Black Flag is so good. The only Assassin's Creed game, while I have them all because Steam sales, and I will grab them when they're cheap. I have most of the games, but the only one I've beaten is the original. Still. Because I've mentioned this a lot on the streams. Like, it's really hard for me to commit and finish and focus on these open world games that just let you roam around without rails and pure direction on what to do and where to go. I'll get so distracted I never finish the game. You should watch it and post reactions to it. It's a great TV show. It's a spy action comedy drama. Really? I didn't know it was a spy thing. I guess I have no idea what it was actually about. Young Justice Season 2 is the best so far. I'd say so far, yes. I heard that Nightwing will show up in Batgirl, and the rumor is that he'll be played by Dylan O'Brien. I don't think it's a rumor that Nightwing's in it. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed because they're casting calling for a Nightwing. I think we know that. And Dylan O'Brien's on the short list for it. But I wish they would have just let Bryn Thwaites do it. Yeah, but different universes and all that. I mean, they could have, because damn, man, like they can reuse the same actor for a different universe. So I mean, you're right. I think he's Bryn Thwaites, as much as I hate what they've done with him on Titans, is a great casting choice. I don't know this Dylan O'Brien guy. I've looked at him and I was like, hey, yeah, I guess he can do Nightwing. I'll see how he does. We'll see how he does. Kingdom Hearts 3 would have been perfect if it hadn't done that stupid stuff with Sora and Kairi at the end. I don't know. I don't know what stupid stuff you're talking about. I know Kingdom Hearts 3 has a lot of discourse surrounding it, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game as of current. I like what they did with it. I like how it ended. The only thing that disappointed me was, like, again, sure, Kairi just was a potato. And amounted next to nothing until Remind. And still, that wasn't enough. It was something, but she definitely needs to get some fucking love in the next few games. I had to go, and I didn't hear your answer, but if you had to delete Infinity War or No Way Home, which would it be? I would delete Infinity War. I would keep No Way Home over Infinity War. Did I play the Guardians game? No, I have not. I have not had time to. I wasn't interested in it whatsoever when it was coming out and the trailers were coming out. I thought it looked awful, but everybody says it's amazing. So I might play it someday, but right now I just don't have the time. I don't think Michael Keaton's Batman really connected with the 2000s kids like Toby Spider-Man. Now, if Christian Bale popped up, people might go nuts. Maybe. Probably. Maybe. But I think you have a strong point there. I mean, Toby has a bit of a different echo. Like, these Spider-Man have a different echo and imprint on the culture than the previous, like, Batman do, I think. Do you like the Arrowverse has its own take on the Justice League? I love it. I love it. I just wish they would use it. That must mean they are retconning Robin's death from the Snyder universe. Well, the Robin's in the current canon, it has never been confirmed in the canon which Robin died. And since that the current DCEU is springboarding off of the Justice League and not the Snyder Cut. I mean, even in the Snyder Cut, it doesn't confirm which is which. It's only confirmed in behind the scenes photos and from Zack's mouth himself who died. So yeah, so it's just since the DCEU is branching from the Justice League, yeah, I mean, they've been planning a Nightwing movie for years. So it's just how and when it happens it's going to be. Not letting Sora and Kairi have a happy ending. I mean, that's fine. I expected it to be how it is. That's kind of what I expected, man. You gotta keep that going for it was being built up the whole time that Sora was going to make it out of all of it. But I mean, I get that. I guess it didn't bother me one bit. I mean, it was upsetting. Got emotional about it. I was sad, but like I didn't dislike what they did. I thought it was extremely fitting what they did. I felt like they were building it up the whole time. Gilgamesh versus Iron Fist. Probably Gilgamesh. Also watched Arcane over the last week, having no interest in LOL. Surprised me. Loved it. Now I can't wait for season 2. Like I said, like many people have said, most people that talk about Arcane didn't know shit about it. Didn't know anything. They don't give two shits about League of Legends. and loved it. Most people have never played League of Legends that are watching the show, and it's fantastic, so I don't blame you at all, man. Which Robin died in the DCEU? According to Snyder, and according to a set pick that never made it into the movie of a tombstone, it's Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is the Robin that died. But in the current canon, it's never been confirmed. And it sounds like, and even if he did, Batgirl probably takes place after the Flash, and the Flash is rewriting the DCEU. I mean, we already know that. The DCEU is already going to be rewritten after the Flash. So even whatever was canon before, it's not even going to matter after the Flash film. Honestly, I feel like 2 wrapped up everything perfectly. Yeah, it was a perfect end until that fucking bottle came in. It had a perfect ending, but knowing that more is coming, it's just another chapter. I mean, it's not the close of the story. It's not the end of the story. It's not... 3 was never said or meant to be the end. Like, going into 3, we knew there was going to be more after it. So, however, when 2 came out, we didn't know if there was going to be more after 2. So, yeah, 2 was a perfect closing point had the series just stopped. But we know more is coming. So, I don't have any issue with having an open ending. So, if it bothers you, I'm sorry. But I love it. Love 3. Love it. You think we'll actually see Grogu next week or an off-screen thing? I hope we see him. I have a gut feeling we will probably have it as an off-screen thing. Are you surprised they made Sarah a Justice League member instead of Laurel? No. Not surprised at all. Laurel's not really League material, I would say. I mean, it'd be like putting Diggle in the League. She's just a side character of a team. So, like, I feel like that it just doesn't make sense to have her on there, personally. Nebula versus the T-800. Probably the T-800. I don't think Flashpoint will change anything for Aquaman or Wonder Woman, really. Probably not. No, those will probably be left unchanged. But we know that the rest of the universe is getting rewritten in some fashion. Do you think the Justice League actors are going to change after the Flash movie? We already know one is. And we know Ben Affleck's done after the Flash. And we know Michael Keaton is the Batman in the Batgirl, which is in the DCEU. So there we'll see. There hasn't really been any Batman live action that has touched on the Dick Grayson Robin. Touched beyond the Dick Grayson Robin. True. Well, I mean, Titans, I guess, technically. I'm afraid the Den has now taken over the Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. And next week, we see him finding Grogu and then helping Boba. Is it still Boba's show? It's a great philosophical question. I'll leave that to you all to debate. Also, never watched anime. I like animated shows, but films have never gone full on, so wanted to start soon. So what would you recommend? I mean, what are your thoughts on Attack on Titan as you react? I mean, I love Attack on Titan. It's definitely a... I don't know. It's definitely an extreme when it comes to anime because it's hyper violent. It's very grim. It's very dark. It's gritty. It doesn't have a lot of... It still has some humor to it here and there, but it's very bleak, post-apocalyptic, insane shit. It's really good, though. But if you got a weak stomach and you can't handle some depressing-ass shit, might be a little rough for you. When I usually tell people, like, my usual recommendation if you're new to anime and you're not sure where to start, a good place to start, I always say, is Death Note. Because it has a little bit of supernatural element to it, but it's really like a cat and mouse detective whodunit. And it's really gripping. And it's grounded for the most part, outside of the supernatural elements, but it's a pretty grounded, like, story. So it's easier, I think, for people new to it all to kind of take that as an entry point. A lot of people say Cowboy Bebop, which is fair. I would recommend Death Note over Cowboy Bebop, but I would say Death Note would be my pick. But Attack on Titan is hard fucking core and really good. I mean, it's one of the top streamed shows right now in the world for its final season. And the theme song of all things for this new season is, it made the Billboard charts, which is insane for an anime opening song to do. Woo! It's nuts, man. Let's see. But there's a lot of anime that I've watched over the years. Like, I haven't watched a lot of the newer stuff that a lot of people mostly watch these days. A lot of the stuff that I would probably recommend is stuff that's probably like 10, 15 years old at this point, or older. But that's about it for the time being, at least. If you have any questions, just let me know. Do you think there will be a real villain in the Flash movie? Oh yeah, I think there's an evil Flash. I think they're pretty much hinting that it's an evil Barry and not Reverse Flash, but I feel like the evil Barry might be the DCEU's Reverse Flash. I hope so, at least. But everything points right now to an evil Barry Allen is the villain of the movie. Would you consider it No Way Home a soft reboot of Spider-Man in the MCU? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's 100% a soft reboot. As much as it's an origin, it is a reset of the character. Season 3, Titans starts out strong, falls prey to many of the same issues of the past 2 seasons. It took a lot longer to fall into those those problems, at least. I think it's like significantly better than the first 2 seasons, but like Kyle said, once you get a little bit into it, once you get maybe about halfway into the season, it starts going into the same trappings as the first 2 seasons. Death Note is amazing, the first half especially. Yes. I'd love to see Clayface in a movie. He's a tough character to do seriously. I've been right there with you as well. I remember binging Death Note at least as much as I could at the time, and they hadn't released all the DVDs yet. Yeah, I've got all of it on DVD back here. One Punch Man is also a good one. I would say it's kind of like it's a satire of anime in a way, so it is a little bit different, but it's a lot of fun. It's good. Doesn't get spoken out too much yet. It's Blind Wave's most viewed reactions. I don't know, when One Punch Man first came out, it was like all people would talk about. I feel like I've known a lot of people who don't like anime who love Death Note, so it's definitely a good pick. Ready for a new Dragon Ball Super movie. Broly was great. I mean, the trailer for the new one, I'm not too thrilled with what I'm seeing, but I'm still gonna go watch it. So, One Punch Man is good. Yes, it is. Watch the villain of the Flash be Chillblaine. Oh, fuck off. Oh yeah, what's this new Vox Machina show everyone's watching? It seems to have just popped up. It's Critical Role's animated show based on their original D&D campaign. So their D&D campaign played out. The characters in the show are the characters they created and they role played. They are voicing their characters, and we are just watching how their tabletop game events played out in animation. So just think about a bunch of famous voice actors getting around a round table and just fucking around in a fantasy setting. That is the show. It's mature, gory, raunchy, but it's got some heart to it, some good animation, some great action, some fun just role-playing elements to it. So it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. But then again, I play D&D, so I'm kind of predisposed to enjoying it. The Home Trilogy was basically the origin story of a comic-accurate Spider-Man. Kind of. Who would you cast in a recasting of the hideous Daredevil movie? Charlie Cox. Sorry. If I had to pick anybody else, I don't really know. Right now. I don't know. I don't know who I would pick otherwise. Zack Snyder's Justice League or No Way Home. Well, I did my top 10 movies of 2021, and what won? I gave it to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I'll die on that hill. And it's by barely an inch. Like, just a little bit came above. Like, I think those were the two best comic book things of the year. In my eyes, at least. I didn't like that they killed off Spoiler in the middle of Death Note. Yeah, me either. I think for a lot of people, that's where it really took a turn, because most people will unanimously agree that the second half of Death Note is not as strong as the first half. And I admit, which is why the live-action Japanese films that they made, because there was I mean, Japan makes a lot of live-action anime adaptations. A lot of the time, they're trash. But the Death Note live-action films, in my headcanon, is how it actually ends. I think how the live-action Death Note movies end is how the anime should have ended. But the anime still, up until that point, is top-notch. Top-notch. It's just the back half is definitely weaker, sadly. But it doesn't lessen any of that first half at all, I don't think. Only other anime I got into was Black Butler. Never watched that. Was the Snyder Cut all older footage? Not all older footage, but it was like 95% footage that already existed, that he had already shot. I think it's like 90 to 95%. There's not a lot of new footage that's in the movie. There's only a few scenes that are brand new. Yeah, the new animation is questionable. It is absolutely not top the Broly movie. And I get why they're doing it, because it's cheaper, but going full CGI, I just don't like the way it looks. But this weird, like, superhero element to it feels like Gohan might get to shine, but knowing them, they will probably not allow Gohan to do anything. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to crap on it until it comes out. Have I seen the 90s Roger Corman Fantastic Four? No, I have not, actually. I have not. Ben Affleck, to be honest, gets treated so badly with superheroes. Yeah, that's true. I pick Brad Pitt or Cillian Murphy. Sorry. I don't know. I'd like Cillian more as a villain. Brad Pitt, I don't think so at all. I don't think he'd fit at all to me. Cillian Murphy probably could pull it off, but he also would. I'm sure there's a better pick out there that I'm just not thinking of. Also, that bizarre plot twist on Superman Crazy. Those people did it to us again. Just hope they do it well. I think they'll do it well. I think they'll do it just fine. And a lot of people were like, oh, they're doing it to us again. I was like, did they? Last time, they never actually said anything in an interview that should lead us astray. It was all our own interpretations of what was happening through the narrative. They were saying things outside the show that was swaying our opinion, and doing things intentionally and talking about it outside of the episodes that was telling us something completely different. Which is one of the reasons why I'm still thinking that we'll get it at some point in the season. So we'll see. We'll see. I still cannot wait for the new season of Bleach. It's been way too long. Me too. I'm really... Okay, I'll be honest. I hate that final arc. I hate it. I don't like it whatsoever. Because I read it in the manga, I did not like it. After the Aizen stuff, I didn't really care about the Fullbringer stuff at all. And then the Yawak stuff, all that, was not interested at all. So I'm really hoping that seeing it animated might give me a different opinion on it. So we'll see. I'm excited either way. The animation looks great. So hopefully they smooth out some of that stuff, because TK was not... He was kind of like doing some... Don't talk Death Note spoilers. I just saw somebody ask about that, because just in case somebody in here, the person who asked, decides to check that out. Because it's I mean, the twists and turns of that show is worth the watch. So definitely don't spoil it if somebody in here hasn't seen it. Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait for Bleach either. So I'm hoping that maybe seeing it animated might smooth over, because it just felt like such a slog waiting week to week to read the manga for those last couple of arcs. So what's with this about 100 minutes of extra No Way Home footage on Blu-ray? Oh, it's bonus content. It's just like bonus features. 100 minutes of bonus features is what they've said. Prediction: Kenobi trailer during the Super Bowl. What do you think? Probably, maybe. I hope so. I hope we get one soon. If you want to watch a crazy movie. Oh, wait, I skipped some stuff. The anime that I love the most is Gintama. I haven't watched it. Really, I'm really showing my juvenility saying that. Well, Riot, I'm pretty sure Halo already got that spot. What? I mean, there's a shit ton of spots. Like, there's no one spot, so I don't think that's a accurate statement. But we'll see. If you want to watch a crazy movie, The Road to Perdition, where a 12 or so year old Tyler Hoechlin plays Tom Hanks' son, is threatened by Daniel Craig. I have not seen Road to Perdition, but you've piqued my interest on it. Have I watched Quantum Leap? No, I have not. I remember seeing bits and pieces of it over the years. Quite a good chunk. Never sat down and watched every episode, so I've started doing that recently. Yeah, I've never watched it at all. I get the references, but that's about it, because it's like one of those pop culture things. I rarely keep up with interviews, especially before the season has ended, so I had no clue. Yeah, I saw headlines and stuff posted all over the place, and then I actually read the original interview, and the showrunner was like, yeah, we're paying homage to Doomsday in this shot. We recreated it from this cover. We are building up to this, and of course, you know how we like to do things. We like to look towards the lore in the comics for inspiration, but we like to give it our own little spin. So when he said that, and then Bizarro is what came out of it, what my takeaway was, they're obviously were building up to make us think it was Doomsday. That's what they were doing. I mean, Lois literally says Doomsday in the episode. And it ended up being Bizarro. Now, I think Bizarro is going to become Doomsday at the end of the season. That's my guess, but we'll see. Hope, I mean, both trailers can debut tomorrow. I don't know why he's like, there's only one trailer that can be shown at the Super Bowl. Would they have a different actor for Norman in the MCU? He doesn't exist! Damn it, people! No Way Home told us he doesn't exist. If he ends up, it's just another plot hole in the movie. I'm still going. Oh shit, hold up. Yeah, okay. I thought I fucked up which one I left up on for a second. I'm still surprised they kept Naruto going. I watched the new season, but Boruto is so annoying as a character. I'm not surprised they kept it going. And I've been reading the Boruto manga because the show has been 90% filler. Some of it's been good. The animation in Boruto is way better than it was in Naruto. I'll give it that. And I like seeing a lot of the characters older and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Naruto is my favorite anime. Used to be Dragon Ball for a long time, but it's definitely Naruto now. There's some good things in Boruto. There's some great moments, but it definitely doesn't have, I don't know, the same feeling or vibe that I had from it back in the day. And I don't know. There's some great things that they pull off in it. I love seeing the original characters all grown up and how they are and how they're different, seeing them be the ones shepherding the new generation. It's just the new generation I'm not that interested in, for the most part. It's now 12 a.m. for me, so I'm going to go off and get some rest. Night, man. Sure hope mine. Oh, thank you, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I'm thinking Johnny Depp wouldn't be bad for a 2003 Matt Murdock. He's a fan favorite choice. Will Melissa Benoist ever return to the Arrowverse, you think? She said she would. So, yeah, definitely think she would. It's good anime, fun, it has some nice drama in it, but it's largely a comedy, and it leans toward lowbrow jokes, which appealed to me. Fair enough. Can't wait to see Hayden return as Vader and the direction under Deborah Chow. Me either, man. Me either. Do I like Carol Danvers as a character? Not really. And it's not her fault. It's just the characterization isn't that great. Maybe Norman exists in the past MCU, so he would be gone during No Way Home. What? I don't know what you mean by that. Why? In the past MCU? I'm not sure what you mean by the past MCU. They're going to retcon it and make it the Osborns appear in the next trilogy. I'm just saying, as long as without Osborns, it seems like the next outing would make sense. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I forgot Spider-Man voiced Sasuke, aka Yuri Lowenthal. Yes, he did. Sasuke was the voice of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man PS4. I'm just thinking about Iron Man Kid. They retconned to be Peter. Just saying. Yeah, but that's just a random character that didn't abide to anything. Like, we got word that Norman Osborn from another Earth tried finding information on his own name, his company, and his son, and could not find anything that exists in this world that show him or his son or his corporation exist. That's a huge plot hole. That would be a huge retcon. I mean, that's not just, oh, that kid happens to grow up and be Spider-Man. That's a retcon that is, it doesn't change anything at all. Like, that's not even the same thing, Peter. Sorry. I'd personally like to see the Mandalorian move away from Tatooine. The galaxy is really big. Not everything has to be connected to Tatooine. I agree. That's one of my favorite things about the Mandalorian was we get to visit all the kinds of different planets. So yeah, you're right. I feel you there. Like, it lived in the 40s or something in the same MCU, but did not mean to put MCU there. Okay. Well, I think that would still beg the same question. Even if he didn't exist, like, fuck. Willem Dafoe should have been able to find something about him, right? You feel like The Last Jedi is super disconnected from The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. I think, yeah. For sure. 100%. Also, Yuri Lowenthal has voiced the Flash and Red Hood. I didn't know that. I didn't know that one. I got 2 live-action Green Goblins. I don't think we need one in Tom's World. I agree with that, Kyle. I think we can do something else with characters they have not touched on and just stay away from it. Still weird, but I'm just throwing ideas on how they could have Norman back again. Fair enough. Fair enough. You tried. It's a good thought. Maybe it existed at one point and then gone. Jango Fett prequel series would be kind of cool. To be clear, the lowbrow humor was about Katana. I know, yeah, I know what you meant, CBM. I agree about the Boruto stuff. From what I've seen, Boruto feels more like a generic shonen anime rather than what we got from Naruto. Pretty much. There are some good arcs, but there was 50 episodes, 60 episodes of stuff that is not in the manga. So that's why I read just the manga. Like, from the get-go, episode 1 to the manga, the opening of the season is in the manga. Everything after the opening sequence, it's like 50 to 60 episodes before they touch on anything that is actually written in the manga. And that was frustrating to me. So I was like, why would I watch this if it's not actually, none of it's about the story? I mean, they fresh out some of the characters, but a lot of the characters are just not interesting. The most fun I have about it is, like I said, picking up with all the older characters and seeing where they are now. Boruto's growth, though, as a character over the season has been a lot of fun. Like, I like reading about it. However, the current arc they are on completely lost interest in me. But there's some pretty sick shit that happens. Some pretty great Naruto and Sasuke moments still. No, we've had 2 Green Goblins. Technically, we've had 3 Green Goblins in live action. I want a live action Smythe from the 90s Spider-Man series. They were setting up Smythe, but then that all got scrapped and canceled and written away. Smythe was actually going to be in there, but in one of them, I think shit, which one was it? Fuck, I can't remember. I think he was either supposed to be in the next Spider-Man movie or one of the next X-Men movies. I forget, but I remember Smythe was actually supposed to come up. Does anyone know one of those shots from Camino and Boba Fett was new or deleted scene? Oh, it's new. It's a new shot. The shot we've seen from Camino, it's brand new footage. Kind of bummed don't know who bought the Avengers Tower. Who's your guess on who bought it? I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be the Fantastic Four. I think it might become their building moving forward, but that's my guess. I doubt it's Kingpin, because I know that's what a lot of people were kind of thinking about, but I think that's where I'll go with it. I'm really excited for Doctor Strange 2, open for Tobey Maguire cameo and Patrick Stewart or Professor X. So many rumors. I'm not even going to dip into half of them. I can't wait for it either, but I'm just going to wait until it comes out. I just want to be surprised when it gets in. I think they are new, but putting Daniel Logan's younger face over a stand-in. That's my guess too. They're new shots, but I do think they're imposing Daniel Logan onto a new kid. Definitely Black Cat, which should be either Ana de Armas or Anya Joy Taylor. I'd be fine with either of them, really. It's really well done. You didn't catch the goblin joke. Whoops. There was a joke. My bad. Miley Cyrus for Black Cat. Kidding. All right, guys. Let's call it a show. Call it a stream. I need to get some food. I need to probably lay down for a minute and take another nap. But thank you guys for tuning in. Great talk, great chat. Thank you everybody who super chatted and all that jazz. Check out all the new videos. Again, I got a new episode 3 of Legends of Vox Machina will be out tomorrow. So check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. If I don't stream. And I say this every time. Who knows? I know my streaming schedule is like random. You can always count on this. But who knows? I don't know. I need to play a game. I need to play some fucking games. But we'll see what happens. I'm so tired and hungry. So we'll see. But guys, take care. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys for certain next week. Take care, everybody.